I probably should get a life more than sitting around staring at the TV and waiting for the Kings Summer League telecast to come on. It's unbelievable. Drapes in Las Vegas with us today. I admit I was that person. There's a lot of us there. At least Drapes was there. I saw it. Did you see Drapes on TV last night?
And I saw my guy on a rewind. I didn't watch nothing live, man. I'm like Drapes. I'm moving and grooving. I had a life yesterday, but I got to see it.
Yeah, you look good on TV, Drapes. You, the high flyer, and Nick all sitting there in a row. I'm not sure he can hear us. Sounds like maybe looks like maybe he's not able to hear us at this time.
Should be.
Yeah. Kyle Draper is on. He's got that look. He's not hearing. Yeah. We'll get him ready.
All right. I got you, big fella. I got you.
Hey,
calm down, Whitey.
Off mute, man.
Nah, Whitey all nervous. He's like, I'm going to have to do 4 hours, just me and Jay. I don't know what I'm going to do here. Ratings going to dip. I'm here, big fella. Calm down. I'm here.
We do that all the time. We have a lot of fun with it. But I'm glad that you're with us. And I was wondering if you, did you get any comments on you being on TV last night while you're watching the game?
Yeah, a few people texted me, man. Whitey, Jay, you know what my day job is, right, big fella? I know I do radio, but I'm on TV all the time. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like paparazzi following me all the. I'm used to that, big fella. No, I actually, me and Nick positioned ourselves right. We saw like the little camera off to the side, and I'm like, no, Nick, these two seats right here, they're going to get us on TV. No, I didn't even know until you texted me, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Kings look good again, but why is it that today people around town, I know on the Alan Stiles show was a hot topic. What's going on here? Why are people talking about the Kings and Ben Simmons, Drapes? What? Is that something we need to talk about?
I don't know. Your boy Mark Jones went on the Jason Ross show with that earlier today, and I'm just like, really? I know, we're starving for news right now. We're looking for some content, but Ben Simmons. And here's the thing, though, Whitey. Let's call it what it is. We may sign Ben Simmons. I have no idea, but is that going to move the needle for us in terms of? We're going to jump from a 7 seed to a 5 seed all of a sudden. There's a reason why the Clippers aren't re-signing Ben Simmons.
Right.
You couldn't even help them out, And so it would be nice if somehow we could unlock, the early version of Ben Simmons, those first few years in Philly. But man, that's, I guess it's low risk, but it's also low reward as far as I'm concerned, you know?
Basketball-wise, that'd be a very sketchy decision, but it'd also be very interesting. It'd add a little more interest to everything else that's going on. So if I had a vote, if I was in basketball ops, I'd say, nah. But if they just said, what do you think? I'd say, yes, let's do it. That'd be
dude, you looking for the reality TV show called The Sacramento Kings, Real Housewives of Sacramento Kings or something like that. Come on, big fella. I mean, we need some size. We need some playmaking. We need some defense. He doesn't shoot though, Whitey. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if there are more intriguing options because it's kind of thin out there, but I don't know if I want that headache, to be honest with you. That's just me talking.
No, I'm with you. You mentioned the drama, and I really think that's one of the reasons that so many fans around here are really getting enthused about Summer League team. And I know it's Summer League. There's a lot of fans are like, get back to me in October. But there is no drama. And typically there's not drama in Summer League. But seeing the Kings play, young team, they're playing hard. They look like they're enjoying it. It's kind of refreshing. And I think that's one of the things fans like about this particular Kings Summer League team. I don't know if it means anything, but it's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, I was talking to one of the coaches earlier today about that, as a matter of fact. And just, how they're sharing the ball, they're moving the ball. They look like, they enjoy, others' success. And, one of the things that he pointed out is when you look at the roster, Carter, Isaac Jones, Mason Jones, Isaiah, those guys played with the Stockton Kings. You know what I mean? So they're very, very familiar with each other. And then you throw in a guy like Nique Clifford. You throw in a guy like Max Reynaud, who they know how to play the game of basketball. And one of the things, I remarked to this coach was, you don't see anybody hunting for shots, looking to earn a contract in one game. You know what I mean? A lot of teams, you look at it, guys are like playing for their contracts right now, and they're just chucking up shots. You don't get that with this Kings team. And so shout out to the players, but also the coaching staff. I think they've done a fantastic job. I'm sitting there watching our guy Dip and the rest of the coaching staff yesterday, and I'm thinking, like, they're doing a hell of a job with these guys, man. They're playing a really good brand of basketball right now.
I know one of the questions about Nique Clifford, as far as the scouts were concerned, is can he consistently knock down shots? And he's worked on his shot. But, I mean, he was incredible last night. And he's got this weird little hezzy right before he lets go of his three. He was money last night. That was really impressive, Drapes. I know it's just a summer league game. Man, that was impressive.
Yeah, you know what, too, Whitey? He showed us something that we had not seen in the first couple of games.
Yes.
The sidestep three, like well defended. I didn't know he had that in him. And I'm looking at him like, oh my gosh, if he's hitting like that, I don't know who he reminds me of. No offense to our guy Doug Christie, because Doug ain't have that. I'm saying Doug was great, but he ain't have that. If he's knocking that down, I mean, it's almost Devin Booker-ish.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm very impressed with Nique Clifford so far.
Yeah, and I'm watching the second half, kind of half watching, and I see somebody take a shot. It's like, oh, that's a nice-looking shot. Oh, it went in. Who's that guy? Oh, he made another one. Daquan Plowden. Drake, shooter.
You like sign him, right?
Yeah.
Sign him. Yes. No, yeah, and that's one guy the coach talked about too. When I talked to, he's like, you got those guys, and then you got Daquan, just being able to, knock down shots, lights out. I mean, he was impressive, I thought, yesterday. And also, it's hard too, because, he's really playing for a spot, maybe not with the Kings, but somebody else, and so it's hard, especially when you have established guys like Mason and Devin to somehow make an impact. And he was able to do that yesterday.
Yeah. Now, Jay, why were you shaking your head at the mere mention of Daquan Plowden for three? Good.
Because I figured out the two aspects of the game that you truly value is shooting and defense. And you could literally be someone that couldn't hit the bright side of a barn, but if they play D, you're all in. Or you could have a person who's 4'9" and they could shoot, and you're like, bring them to the squad.
Yeah, ideally you can do a little bit of both, Jay. Ideally, and I don't know about Daquan, what he brings to bear defensively, but I know that in his first NBA game with Atlanta, I think it was January, he scored 19 points, Drapes, in his first NBA game.
You went back and looked that up? You researched that?
He went to Basketball Reference. Dude played 6 games last season. Calm down, Whitey. Calm down, big fella.
Money, instant offense. I'm telling you.
Yeah, maybe he's a Stockton Kinger or something like that. Do we have one open 2A spot still? I'm trying to think.
Yes, we do.
We do, yeah, because I think we only got. So I don't know if he's eligible for that or not, but he had a nice showing last night. No doubt about it.
He did. And what is Devin Carter? I'm hoping that the organization, I don't think they have, but I'm hoping they're not, thinking, we got too many guards. I don't know if he's going to be a fit here, because I still think he's showing what all he can do. And I hope they're at least keeping an open mind on things. I think going forward, that's a guy that can help you. And speaking of the shooting, I mean, last night, Traves, my goodness, that shot at the end of the half. And I know it's not the prettiest shot to look at, but man, all of a sudden he's making everything.
Well, he's playing with confidence right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The thing about what we're seeing from Devin Carter here during Summer League, he has the green light. There's no Zach or DeMar out there you got to play off of or make sure they get their shots. Like, he's, one of the top options, on this squad. And so that's the Devin Carter we saw at Providence these last couple of games. And this is the guy, we're seeing here in Summer League. The big issue for him is, how does he replicate that around the veterans, around the normal squad? And so that's where the hard part is going to come in. And you say, you don't want the organization to make a move with Devin, and I 100% agree with you. We go back though, where's he going to play at, Whitey? Whose minutes he's taking? That's they got an issue right now. Let's just call it what it is, because Zach's going to play 30 to 35 minutes. Dennis Schroeder's going to play probably 30 minutes. Then you got Malik Monk. He should play 25 minutes. Keon Ellis, everybody wants Keon to play 25 minutes. Nique Clifford's going to take some minutes. Like, It's a logjam out there right now.
Yeah, I understand that. You're absolutely right. I just hope that they don't rush to make a decision there, given the way I think he's showing that he can do things that he was doing before he got hurt. But I get it. I know there's a crunch there, and I know that he's still flexing his shoulder a little bit, but I think he's playing now a lot closer to how he looked when he was a junior at Providence, when he came out of college, and people saying, "Oh, this is a lottery guy." And we didn't see that a lot last year, and I think maybe the shoulder had something to do with that.
Yeah, but and to your point, it's only his second year, really his first full year.
Right.
Let's not forget, he was a lottery pick. We should not be in the business of giving up on lottery picks before they even complete their second year.
I agree.
So I'm with you. There's a reason why you drafted this guy where he is. Let him develop. You didn't draft him to come here and be the sixth guard and then get traded. And so I'm with you on that. It's like, if you're drafting lottery picks, there's a reason for that. And you should let him get some opportunities out there.
Yeah, I know some people want to already pigeonhole him. Well, he can do this, but he can't do that. He can do this, but he can't do that. I mean, let's see. Maybe you're right, but you don't need to rush to judgment on those things when he's playing so well. So I hope they keep an open mind there. I know you and Jay, before the show started, in the text chain, you guys were talking about a suddenly available player that you think might be able to help the Kings, huh? A front court player that Charlotte let go?
Yeah, Josh Okogie. I mean, I don't know how high Jay is on him or anything like that, but, he's a solid veteran, average better than 7 points per game, can defend a little bit, can knock down the three. One of the things when talking to this coach today, I asked him, who's our backup three? And it was crickets. And so we need somebody at that position. We got an open roster spot still. So, I'd take a flyer on him. Why not? It's a veteran guy that plays a position of need for the Sacramento Kings.
Well, that Jay would love him because he's from Charlotte. That's Jay. Jay loves it.
He just
Charlotte Hornets,
Jay's guy. But what do you make of 16 games, 15 games last season with Charlotte, 25 with Phoenix. So he only played 40 games last season, Whitey.
Yeah. And then he only played 60 the year before that.
Yeah.
And I'm not maybe I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if that was a physical thing or he just couldn't find his way back into the lineup. But I remember him with Phoenix. I mean, he was a real energy guy. He's seemed like a really useful guy coming off the bench. So I don't know. I'm still looking for a little more length there.
Yeah, I mean, only listed as 6'4", but he's girthy. He's a little stronger and got some, meat to his bones. It's not like he's, a skinny two guard. So he could play some three for you out there. And like I said, at times he's been able to shoot, looking this past season, 35%, 34.8, need to be better at that. But, there could be, worse options out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Drape's with us from Vegas, of course, as the Kings are now undefeated in Summer League. Do you think the Kings should they consider Drape's sending anybody home with a pat on the fanny? Great job. Go rest up, get ready for camp.
Nah, I'm not. I mean,
I'm not either. I was just wondering what you thought, but I wouldn't do that either.
Especially you still got something to play for. And it's the more games these guys can get under their belts. Now, if somebody's dealing with some injuries or something like that, I get it. But this ain't, no offense, this ain't Cooper Flagg, your franchise player. You know what I mean? Go out there, play, win something, build some positive habits, a positive culture here. I don't think, let's say tomorrow when we play, like yesterday, I thought when they brought Nique Clifford back in the fourth, I was a little surprised. I thought, all right, his night is done. They took him out 9 minutes or whatever it was in the fourth. I'm like, all right, he's done. But then they brought him back. I was a little surprised by that. But I don't think these guys need to be shut down or anything like that. I mean, especially when you actually have something to play for, a Summer League championship.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think you hit the nail on the head. You are building something. I don't know what it is or how sustainable it is, but, you're starting from scratch in some ways with your new regime. And this is going really well. And you got new draft picks and they're meshing. There's a lot of positivity being generated. Why go away from that? I don't see any need for it. They look like they're having a good time and everyone's enjoying it. And there's some value in that. So, yeah, keep on.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. We'll see about Max tomorrow, dealing with that wrist. Also got to keep an eye on Devin Carter. I don't know if you saw him, rubbing that shoulder of his, that right shoulder as well. And so if guys are dealing with something, I could see it. But, if Nique Clifford is good, you ain't got to play him a full 40 minutes. Play him 20 minutes. Just let him get a good sweat going on. I wouldn't shut him down, though.
Well, that was rough last night, Drapes, watching at home when the Kings game is in delay, waiting and waiting for NBC Sports California. When's the game going to be over? I guess I could have watched the other game on ESPN to figure, okay, when that ends and the Kings will start. Yeah. But I wasn't sure which building the Kings were in, so I didn't know which game to watch. But that's just Summer League, right?
Yeah, and on both those games, both the night games, were going late, going long. That Celtics game took forever. Me and Nick are sitting there watching. It's like, all right, it's 7:00. All right, we get it about 7:30 now. Let's, wrap it up, boys. And so, yeah, it was brutal on this end also, man. Just, it was like, dude, this game's over. Keep the clock running. Why are we fouling here?
Running clock, yeah.
Yeah. And then me and Nick, after the Kings game, went over and watched my boy Bronny play. Bronny and the Lakers. And LeBron was out there too. And Savannah and Zuri, and Nick had a blast, man. LeBron walked right by us, like literally right in front of us. We're sitting there, in the pathway, and Nick pulls out his camera and trying to be sly with it, holding it at a low angle. I'm like, dude, LeBron's used to people filming him. You could be out in the open, but no, it made his day, man. We got to see it up close and personal, and it made his day for sure.
I think what everyone wants to know is whether Nick was on his own at all last night. You talked about that possibility. Was he in the room while Dad, did what Dad had to get done? Weren't you wondering, Jay?
Yeah, but I wasn't going to ask him on air. Yeah.
I will say this. There was a YouTube comment or a text comment yesterday that said, Drapes, this kind of thing is what movies are made of. Parents leaving their kids in the hotel room in Vegas at night. And I thought, you know what? You're right. That would be pretty bad. So, nope, we went up to the room, went to sleep. But here's the best thing about a teenager. And you guys know, they like to sleep in the morning.
Yes. Yeah.
So he ain't wake up till 10 o'clock. Dog, I went downstairs, got my coffee, came back up. Oh, you still asleep? Let me go downstairs and
right to the pool.
Yeah, let me move and groove downstairs in the morning. But how about this, fellas? I wasn't the only one down there. 100 guesses to figure out who else was down there hitting the tables at 8 a.m. this morning.
Charles Barkley.
Close.
Allen Iverson.
Again?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, my boy having a ball.
Dude, he was down there by himself at a table. I'm like, I saw you 2 nights ago at 1 a.m. at a table. I'm waking up getting my coffee at 8 a.m. and you down here now. It was awesome, man. I was like, AI is a unique guy, a one of one.
He's up or he's down.
Right.
There ain't no in between. You don't bounce up at 8 in the morning. You either on a hot streak or you trying to make some money back.
Right, try to get it back. And so I had a good time, man. I had a good time at the establishment this morning. Came up a little bit, so I'm feeling good right now.
Good. We got kind of a split decision here so far in the chat on Ben Simmons to the Kings. We have from Nola to Cali. Ben could run the backup point, plus he would be a good defender and cheap. Dynamic Butterfly says, Bum Simmons doesn't want to play basketball. They're dangling Bum Simmons to make us feel better when they sign Westbrook. And then you got Dennis Youngblood saying Ben Simmons is better than Fultz. So Kings fans are starting to warm up to the idea of maybe Ben Simmons coming here. I still don't see it, Drapes. I'm not sure how we got to this point where we're even talking about it.
You know how we got to this point. Mark Jones went on with Jason Ross this morning.
Uh-huh.
And throughout, hey, Ben Simmons is out there, and then that, caught fire in Sacramento. And, Alan talked about it. Now we're talking about it. Let me ask you this. When you look at Ben Simmons' numbers last season, 5 points, but 5.6 assists per game, Whitey. That's pretty impressive. And how about this? Ben Simmons this past season, 4.7 rebounds in just 22 minutes. I mean, you're not asking him to come out here and score 25, but as a playmaker, distributor, a defender, rebounder. The key to me with Ben is, does he want to play basketball?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, do you want to be here? Do you want to compete? Do you want to play?
We want volunteers, not hostages.
Exactly. And we got young players too, Whitey. I don't need anybody coming in here, poisoning the pool of young players that we have. And so I'd be a little cautious about that.
Yeah, and in all fairness, maybe we'll go back and hear exactly what Mark Jones said with Jay Ross today. My understanding is he mentioned that he's hearing his name. It was similar, not the same, but similar to what you said about campaign. That's my understanding, where you said, although that was his people coming right to you. Right, but I think Mark Jones has said he's hearing the name. And I saw somewhere today that the Warriors are believed to have some interest in Ben Simmons. So not only might the Kings have interest, they may, if they do, actually have competition for Ben Simmons. How about that?
I'll tell you what, if the Warriors are interested in Ben Simmons, you know why they are. They are desperate right now. They need somebody. They've struck out on everybody. And so that reeks of desperation. I'm looking at this Bleacher Report article also. Not only the Warriors, it says, Ian Begley says, the Knicks have reportedly continued to touch base with Ben Simmons during the free agency period. So there's a couple of teams out there showing some interest in Ben Simmons.
All kidding aside and putting aside all of the, the unkind things that people tend to think of him, why do you think teams are interested?
Size, length, ball handling, playmaking, can defend. I mean, it's amazing. I'm going to call it like I see it. He was literally on a Hall of Fame trajectory to start his career. You know what I mean? Rookie of the year, 3-time All-Star, all defense. Like, he was doing, and then something happened. I understand he had the back injury and everything like that, the issues in Philly, but something happened. I mean, this dude played 81 games his first year, 79 his second, and then it just went off a cliff, 57, 58. And so you look at it, and it's like, the talent is there. That's never been a question. It's the desire. It's the want. It's the competitiveness. Where's that at if you're Ben Simmons?
I think he makes more sense for a team that thinks they might be pretty good this year. Like the Knicks have a chance to be really good. To me, that makes more sense than it does for the Kings because of the risk involved. And I have nothing against Ben Simmons. I hope he revives his career, but there's the health. There's, as you say, you don't know if he really wants to play. And then if he does play, is he still a point guard? I don't know. It's kind of fun to kick around here, and it's interesting, some of the comments. But if I'm the Kings, I just look at it and go, maybe if circumstances were different, but right now, I don't think he's a good fit for the Kings, Drapes.
No, he's not. And here's the thing. The reason why, he was okay on the Clippers is, first of all, they had a veteran team, and he couldn't really impact them in a negative way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he come here to sack, and it doesn't work. Like, that just reeks of a mess, a possible mess, as far as I'm concerned. It's, it'd be different if Ben Simmons could take us from 43 wins to 48, but I just don't see him making a huge impact, a difference maker. And why would you want to, take on that risk for what I consider a low reward?
Yeah. Now, do we know if I know you mentioned this yesterday, DeMar may be coming to Vegas? Do we know if DeMar and or any other veterans are going to be coming out to cheer on the young summer league team?
Well, I was told Keon was supposed to be here. I don't know what happened. I thought he was supposed to be here last night. I did not see him. I have not checked on the latest on DeMar, but DeMar was supposed to get in today, have dinner with the squad tonight, is what I'm told. And so, but I have not heard anything new about that.
Okay. I think there's a handful of teams that are doing that, which is fine. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's necessarily bad if veterans don't show up, but it is nice. I think, let's see, Cade Cunningham, some Cavs, I think Kyrie, and then there's another team or somebody else I'm missing that's been out there supporting the summer leaguers. So it's kind of the Spurs, like the whole team.
Spurs got their whole squad. Yeah, Spurs. Yeah. Trae Young's been out here. Yeah. We've seen, but I will say, I haven't seen any
Orlando Magic.
Yeah, Orlando Magic, Suggs I saw out there. But I haven't seen any Celtics out there, supporting their guys. And what I like to see are guys out here, courtside, yes. Am I up in arms and bothered by it that they're not? No, but you would hope at least one guy though, right? Like, even a Keon or a Malik or somebody, but I don't want these guys out here just for the photo op either. Oh, look at me, I'm here, support. Like, you gotta be genuine with it if you do come out here.
Yeah. A dynamic butterfly points out Kevin Herter was at the Bulls game. I saw him there too.
Yeah, maybe Kevin Herter.
Get the Kevin Herter impersonator out at the Kings game.
Right. Somebody like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When we come right back, in a way, Major League Baseball said today that if the A's are in the postseason, they can still play in Sacramento. They kind of said that. We'll explain when we come right back. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local, but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. Try the TrackMan experience, the very best technology to fit your metal woods and irons. The new cutting-edge putter fitting studio with its $30,000 worth of technology is ready for your fitting. Hagen Oaks will help you find the best putter for your game. Hagen Oaks offers more technology, more choices, and more service. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531, 808-2531 for more.
You're not at your house. You're at a lavish seaside estate. You're not walking the dog. You're hunting for clues in an Agatha Christie mystery. See it differently with BritBox. Stream an endlessly entertaining collection of British TV, including new original series Ludwig, starring David Mitchell.
Bit awkward, really. I think I might just have solved a murder.
And Outrageous, a scandalous true story.
Seems there's a political extremist in every family these days.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song.
I love these nachos.
I love our kickball league. Oh, I love this guy.
What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo.
Sponsored by Trix Racing Canes, Chicken Fingers, and Naturewood Home Furnishings. Tickets at catpfest.com.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that, or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Drapes in Vegas, where he says they're not really waiting with bated breath on the arrival of the A's. But we found out something today that to me suggests if the A's were to find their way into the postseason, very unlikely right now, but if they were, they would play games here. Here's why I say that. Baseball announcing today the Tampa Bay Rays will play potential postseason games at George Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, and that's the minor league park they play in. That place seats 10,046. They are a game and a half behind the Mariners for the third wild card spot, so they may not make the postseason, but baseball today announced if they do, and then they would be tough for a third wild card team to be hosting postseason games. But if the Rays do, they're going to be playing in that minor league stadium, and it's possible, though unlikely, that they could play World Series games there. So doesn't that suggest, Drapes, Jay, that if the A's were a postseason team, we'd have postseason baseball here in Sacramento, right? If they're doing it in Tampa, they'd have to do it here, right? Right? You see
go ahead, Jay. I'll let you go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No.
You don't think they'd allow it here?
Well, I don't know, Whitey. I mean, I
know it's
understand
unlikely.
the compassion and the passion that you're hunting for, but I think Tampa's situation is completely different than our situation. In the form of Tampa has nowhere to play.
Right.
Literally. The A's had somewhere to play.
They could play in Miami.
They chose to. Yeah. Could.
Yeah. There was some people thought that would be the plan.
Right.
But they decided today, no, we're going to play in the minor league stadium in Tampa. So
yeah, I just think Tampa, due to what's going on in Tampa as far as the rebuilding, the St. Pete, Tampa area, what they have to do to the stadium itself, and the fact that we now know the ownership group is getting ready to change. They're in a holding period. It's almost like a trust. You're getting ready to move. We're going to figure out where you're going to land. And at this point, whatever happens is what happens. Where the A's, you have someone who is operating and running an organization and really has a say. I'm not saying Tampa doesn't, but they're hamstrung.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we probably don't. It's not going to happen. The A's are like 11 out of the wild card. But to me, it suggested, maybe if it were in the offing, maybe it would be happening here.
I'll say this before Drapes goes in. Maybe you're, in the words of my guy Dante Whitner, maybe you're forecasting greatness as far as next year. Maybe, yeah, my boy Dante.
Well, I'm forecasting greatness.
Maybe we're talking about next season.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just, like Jay said, Tampa's in a completely different situation, and Steinbrenner Field is completely different than, like, it has a major league following, spring training games, things like that, here in Sac. I would love it here. I think it would be very successful. I think the fan base would get by it. It would be the energy, the buzz, but it just seems like anything that's good for Sac and good for our community, it's like, it's not considered. It's like, whether it's the patch, whether it's T-shirt, like, it's just, they've done nothing to really ingratiate themselves to the community. And so maybe out of necessity, but is there any chance they go back to the Coliseum?
Yeah, I don't know.
Some sort of arrangement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is what Manfred said about Sacramento. He addressed the media today. If I had a brand new gleaming stadium to move the Athletics into, we would have done that. Right now, it is my expectation that they will play in Sacramento until they move to Vegas. So when you parse that, he said, right now, that's kind of qualifying it. Like, I don't know about the future. Right now, it is my expectation. Now, the way he phrased it, that's a far cry from saying, oh, yes, the A's are on their way to Vegas. So I think, baseball's hoping, they're hoping this gets across the finish line, but I think everybody knows it's far from a done deal.
Yeah. It's and one of the websites out here, even from the Vegas angle, there's some skepticism.
Really?
About the money. Yeah. One of the local websites. I need to pull it up here. But I saw this and they're like, John Fisher and them, they keep talking about, these investors that nobody knows about. It's these shadow investors, basically. These ghost investors is what they called it, and so something's going to have to come. I mean, we drove by it yesterday, me and Nick, and because he wanted to see it, and all you see is piles of dirt. Ain't nothing being moved around. Ain't no, jackhammers or nothing.
Do they have signs or anything even there, Drapes? A future home of the A Stadium or anything?
No, I haven't seen that. Nope.
What does it show? Like valleys or anything, or just
No, it's nothing.
This is being orchestrated by Construction Zone Smith and Sons LLC.
Right. Yes.
Gate.
But ain't no, like what he say, ain't no future home or A's baseball 2028 or whatever. Nothing like that.
So if you didn't know that was a site and you're just driving by, you have no idea that that's supposed to be a
right. There's one little entrance that has a little something like an A's. But you know what's crazy, guys? Remember, I was out here when they had the groundbreaking, if you will, and I saw some signage out there. It didn't say future, but I saw some A's logos out there. I drive by yesterday, they took all that. It's different. It's not the same. It's not the same pomp and circumstance that it was that one day where they had the groundbreaking. Now you drive by, you see a little tiny A's little logo there, but not like it was a few weeks ago.
And did you guys see this? John Fisher apparently bought a multi-million-dollar home in Vegas recently.
I did not see that.
Yeah, and people knew he was looking for a home there, but he bought a very extravagant home. So there are some people in Vegas going, wait a minute, he's trying to get more money from us, and he just spent all this money on a house. So even that was a bad look for John Fisher. Really, really nice house in Vegas. So I guess that suggests he figures I'm there at some point. I don't know. What did you guys think of I know you can watch it, Drapes, but the home run derby, Brent Rooker got jawed last night, Jay.
By 0.1 or 2 inches of a foot or something of that nature? Yeah, less than an inch. Yeah.
Yes. So Cal Raleigh advancing because the tiebreaker was who hits the home runs the furthest. And somehow they're able to determine, that Cal Raleigh's home run went less than an inch further than Brent Rooker's.
No way.
Come on.
Yeah, they should have had a swing off, fellas.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah. Well, 5 pitches or something, whatever it may be. Do you think, fellas, that, the tiebreaker, did you know that was a rule? Did you know at the time, if it's a tie, it's whoever hits the longest home run?
Well, I thought it was a swing off. I remember we've seen swing offs before, but as Carl Ravage and others,
Perez
and Mr. Perez, they were talking about it prior because they could see it starting to set up where some of these guys were tying, right? And so they were starting to kind of preface it. If it gets to that point with 2 or 3 other batters left, this is what's going to happen. But prior going into it, no, I had no knowledge. I thought it would be a swing off, Drapes.
What did you guys think of McAfee's introduction for Brent Rooker?
Now that's where we need to talk about that.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
He
said
the
replay.
I didn't see it, man.
Yeah,
Jay, you had to pull that up.
He says, now here he is. He calls a minor league stadium his home, but he hits major league dongs. And that's how he introduced Brent Rooker.
Okay. All right.
How'd you feel about it, Mr. Gleason?
I wish he'd gone further with it.
Oh, that's awful.
No, because I want
terrible.
And
that ruined Brent Rooker's moment. That is so awful.
He probably was in favor of that. You know,
you can't say that. Why do you can't? I could say he probably wasn't in favor of it. You know, like what we know is that McAfee made a crack at the A's in their ballpark during Brent Rooker's moment in the sun. This was his moment, and McAfee had to crack a joke. Like, I'm totally against that. That dude needs to go. I don't need McAfee and Stephen A. Smith on everything, ESPN, ABC. Like, damn, give us a break from them clowns.
I'm with you on that. He did say minor league park, but it's major league dongs. And then he also said something about Cal Raleigh's fat ass. And I guess a lot of fans like, you can't say that on the All-Star Game. I'm watching with my kids. But you know that baseball, maybe this was all on the up and up. Oh, yes, it actually did go just less than an inch further. But if you're baseball, who do we want advancing in the home run derby? The guy who is authoring an onslaught on home run records, and he's challenging Aaron Judge maybe for MVP in Seattle, or the guy from the team that plays in the minor league stadium that we really don't know what we're doing with. You know, baseball's going to go with a guy who's okay. Here we have this is McAfee's introduction for Brent Rooker yesterday.
Representing the Athletics from Germantown, Tennessee. This man calls a minor league ballpark his home, but he hits big league dogs.
With 20 bombs on the season and fresh off a game-winning 2-run blast last week.
Let's make some noise for Brent Rooker!
Woo! You don't like that, Andres?
Hate that. It ruined his moment, man. It's like, come on, dude. He knows he plays at a minor league park. Trust me, he probably hates it. Like you're saying, he probably hates it, and he's constantly reminded of it. You know, here's the thing. You're on Major League Baseball's biggest stage during the summer. Excited for this moment, and then you got to be reminded, oh, yeah, reality is, you know, I play for the A's, and I play it. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too sensitive. Maybe, but, you know, and if it was somebody other than McAfee saying it, maybe I'd take it differently. But for that dude, why is he even there? You know,
I agree with you on that. That was just so overblown and stupid. It was a little embarrassing, the whole thing. Not just what he said, but just that he was doing it and doing it that way. It's like, wow. And then the other thing, Brent Rooker, and I saw this because we're doing the show and we're talking to you, and we had it on here. And I don't know if this was his bonus time or what. It says 40 pitches. And the first two he takes. And he's looking at like an official, like, okay, what? Because they told him you can take 2 pitches. So he takes 2, and then there's some confusion. Then they put 40 back up on the ball count. However, they didn't put the balls back in the basket. So he went through his 38 pitches. He's supposed to get 2 more. There's 5 seconds left. He doesn't have a baseball. So he doesn't have a chance.
Cheat, my boy.
Yes. Yes.
Dang. Shouldn't you have more than 40 balls in there? What is Major League like?
They had literal Rawlings was coming and dumping balls into
the first 2.
baskets.
They had 40, and then they threw the first 2, and someone had told him he could take 2, so he did. They didn't put those 2 back. They started over. And then for other players who did that, they did it later. They put the balls.
They put them back?
Yeah. So
I just saw kids run out and dump bags of balls into the bucket, to the baskets. But I didn't know they were counting because people were taking pitches left and right.
Yeah.
Oh, they cheated my guy.
They did. Okay. Well, your guy, they didn't cheat
your
guy.
He cheated himself, but no, yeah. He had an oblique situation. Right. He said he was just using it. Well, first of all, he's just going to go out there and let the chips fall where they may. Yeah. But he was using it as a warm-up. He wanted to activate that oblique a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jay's guy was Jazz Chisholm.
Yeah, he's up against it, man. You got the big dumper, and then you got a little third baseman. A little middle infielder, little Delino DeShields remake, you know.
I had Matt Olson. He didn't win it, but I believe Drapes actually called it yesterday. I think he said Cal Raleigh.
Yeah. I mean, he's Major League Baseball's golden boy now, right? You know, this season he's one of the hottest things out there. So the big dumper delivered.
Yes. We're back with more from Summer League in Vegas. Also, does this guy even belong on an all-star team and the NFL team that's bringing back the uniforms they lost their first 26 games in? That and more of the Drive Guys when we roll on Sacktown Sports.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I was taking my side hustle full-time.
Bold move, my friend.
And I needed to find everything in one stop.
Like finding Bigfoot riding a unicorn.
Yeah, guess, so I hit the Staples Easy button. Staples had everything for a new office and print services for signs and brochures. Plus, Cindy, the Staples associate, helped me find the best tech for me.
Wait, no drama?
No, Staples made it easy.
For the products, services, and experts your business needs, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Nighttime is fun time at the Hagen Oaks Top Tracer driving range. It's more relaxed at night with people enjoying technology, where you can play Pebble Beach at Hagen Oaks, compete against your friends in a variety of games, or just practice at your leisure. There's food when you're hungry from hangout eats and drinks, or enjoy a beverage on the brand new patio with relaxed seating. And check out the summer-long free concert schedule. It's the Hagen Oaks driving range nightly until midnight, Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
Tune into Sacktown Sports this week for live coverage of the 153rd Open Championship from Royal Portrush, brought to you by Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
Station in Sacramento, giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Somehow, someway, we've been talking today, among other things, about Ben Simmons. We'll put that aside for now, but I'm still surprised that we're talking about that today, and that's because Mark Jones was on today with Jay Ross. We're going to get the actual sound of that at some point here, Drapes. We're going to hear.
Yeah, I got to hear
it. Here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just heard it for the first time, fellas. Whatever.
Okay.
I just say what?
I actually have not heard it. So we could put an end to it right here, Jay?
Well, you do it top of the hour.
Yeah, okay. We'll have that coming up. Maybe much ado about nothing. I know Mark Jones, I believe it was last night doing the game. He also mentioned McCooney. That's well played.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah.
That's worth a few pick and rolls or whatever they call them there, you know. We used to have McCooney at the arena. Used to be able to get McCooney sushi at the arena.
Really?
Yeah, in Arco 2. Yeah, that was nice. Mm-hmm. Huh. Yeah. All-Star Game tonight. Does anybody have any problem with this? It's funny because we're just talking about it, and it was just a question up here on ESPN. An injury replacement for the National League is Jacob Misiorowski. Jacob Misiorowski is set the league on fire. He's made a total of 5 starts in his career. And a lot of people, like on your Phillies, Drapes, there's a couple pitchers on the Phillies that are really having outstanding years and have been around a lot longer than that. And they're not all-stars, but Jacob Misiorowski is. And I think it was Trey Turner. Somebody in the Phillies was saying, Castellanos, I think, said, it's like the Savannah Bananas. It's like, how can a guy be an all-star when he's made 5 starts? But, he's really popular now. So should a guy like that be an all-star? Is it like, no. You haven't earned it yet.
Wow. I'm not familiar. So he made his major league debut 5 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't even been in the league 2 months.
Right. He's an all-star. Yeah. They put him on the all-star team.
I don't get it. What was the reasoning? Just popularity, or is that what we're doing now? Like, can anybody tell me why?
Mm-hmm. Just because he's drawn a lot of attention. That would be the argument, and I'm not making it because I'm with you. I think there's not enough there to make him an all-star. But it's, hey, people are excited about him. He throws hard. That's good for the game. The all-star game is a chance to promote the game. So why not? I agree with you, and I agree with the Phillies, but that's where we are. And Jacob Misiorowski was asked about it yesterday. He said, the players aren't criticizing me. They're criticizing the process. But to me, it's borderline ridiculous to put a guy like that on the all-star team. The all-star team doesn't mean anything if you do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to do my research here with this one, Whitey, because like you said, there's other. Would you say other players have had better seasons than him?
Yes, and they've been doing it for longer, and it gets complicated because, like I said, there's a guy or two on the Phillies that they said, do you want to be an all-star? You can be on the all-star team, but only if you can pitch that day. I think it was Ranger Suarez, and he said, well, I'd rather not pitch in the all-star game. I want to rest. And they said, okay, never mind then. We'll get somebody else. And his teammates are saying, if he's an all-star, he's an all-star. Name him as such, and then you can replace him. So, because he obviously earned it if you're saying he can be an all-star. So a lot of the Phillies aren't happy with the process. I guess it promotes the game. When the guy comes in tonight, if he pitches, oh, this guy's a fireballer, he set baseball on his ear. So it's good for the game, but just kind of, it's not really, it cuts into the credibility, undermines the credibility of being an all-star.
Alfredo Griffin, baby. Didn't you tell us a story about Alfredo Griffin last week?
That's right. I forgot about
Alfredo might be
Griffin.
In this situation.
He just happened to be hanging around or something like that.
He just in Atlanta, Drapes.
Yeah,
right. He in a team hotel or something.
Yeah,
he came with Tatis or somebody.
He came with Damaso Garcia, whose wife couldn't go. So he's like, "Hey, Fredo, you want to go? Okay." And then the day of the game, Alan Trammell's like, "Man, I got a sore wing. I can't go. We need a shortstop." Hey, Alfredo Griffin's here. You're an all-star. Hey, now you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
That's what happened. What do you think, Jay? 5 starts. Can you be an all-star after 5 starts?
No, you can't be.
Thank you.
It's disrespectful to the people who have thrown all season. Yes. And on top of that, and I'm not the person that, in 1947, this had to happen. Like, it does kind of distinguish, kind of dispute some of the things that people have done. It just goes against that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not with
you. Even if it is good pub for the game. The All-Star game is not really supposed to be about that.
Well, that's the problem now with sports. It's, how many times, in the NBA All-Star weekend, you got influencers and it's like, it's
whole
not
weekend.
All weekend. It's ridiculous, man. It's Adam Silver has sold out for the influencers out there and the TikTokers of the world and the Twitch. And it's like, it's not about the game anymore. And so I'm reading what Trey Turner said about Misiorowski getting there. It's 5 starts, Whitey?
Yeah.
And you're an all-star?
Yeah.
Now, who did he replace? I'm sorry.
I don't know because there's been so many guys that were named and then replaced. I'm not sure who he actually replaced.
I didn't know if it was like a teammate of his, and so you replace him with somebody from the same team or something like that.
But I know the Phillies had 2 starters that are, you look at their numbers like, those guys are all-star worthy, and neither one of them is going to be on the team. You mentioned, social media and influencers, the NBA. Drapes, what would be your advice today for Noah Esengwe? Did you see what happened to him from the Bulls?
Poor guy, man. You know what, man? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. I'm an Esengwe guy. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's my guy. I'm saying I'm a Esengwe guy because he actually had a pretty damn decent game. I've seen him play. He actually is a good player. He's long, he's athletic. Like, I like his game. And the fact he got posterized, yes. But every player, the only reason you get posterized is because you're trying to play defense.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And so I'm okay with it. And, you know, my boy Chuck Swirsky, you know Chuck Swirsky. He called radio guy for the Chicago Bulls, longtime Toronto Raptors guy. He went in on SportsCenter last night. Like, did you see how SportsCenter and the anchors reacted to it last night? Oh, my gosh. He laid in. They were cracking up. They were laughing. And, you know, Chuck Swirsky, who I call a friend of mine, you know, came out with a great book. He just went in on social media. I'm looking for it. He might have deleted it recently. So
Chuck Swirsky your guy?
Oh, yeah, he's 100. Oh, yeah, he deleted it, actually. He actually deleted his post. He called him out. He's like, you're ruining this young man's moment. Like, he's an 18-year-old kid. You know, it happens. And I'll tell you what, Whitey, and you know as well as I do, if you go through still frames of video, you'll find all kinds of pictures. Like, you look weird sometimes. And so, you know, he got posterized, man. I feel bad for the kid. But he still played a great game. He still had great numbers last night.
I agree with you. I've tried to make that point and people just laugh you off. I've said, look, if you got somebody gets posterized, it's usually because they're helping. You know, guy beats his man, and then what are you supposed to do? Run out of the way? No, you go over, you contest, and then you're going to get dunked on because you're doing your job. Why should we make fun of somebody for trying to do their job, Drapes?
Yeah, I got more respect for Esengwe for getting dunked on than if he would have bailed out. You know what I mean? Like, nah, dude, you go up there and you contest. You know, it's you know, this whole business decision and everything like that. We say that often, but it means you gave up on the play.
Yeah,
you got out of the way, and so I'm team Esengwe on this one.
Yeah, it was unfortunate though. It's like, you know, sometimes you take a bad picture. Sometimes, you know, you take a bad driver's license photo. It was just not a good look for him, but he was doing his job. When we come back, what Kings fans love about the Summer League squad. Next on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger,
pretty
for
long.
the ones who get it done.
For me.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffs the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Gain. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, James.
Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too.
I never said that.
Add Gain scent boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-646-5454. That's 800-646-5454.
Summer's flying by, and that back-to-school checklist, it's growing fast. New backpack? Check. School supplies? Check. Dentist appointment? Let's fix that. Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics is making it easy to cross dental checkups off your summer list fast with priority scheduling for new patients and kid-friendly care that makes them smile. It's one less thing to worry about before fall. Call now or book online at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com, because healthy smiles should be the easiest thing to check off your summer list.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise guys at Bell Brothers Plumbing and Air Conditioning. Need a new water heater? Call Bell Brothers. Need drain or sewer work? Call Bell Brothers. Need a free plumbing estimate? Call Bell Brothers. We don't guess at plumbing and drain problems. We use advanced camera inspections and diagnostics to identify the issues. We're fast, reliable, and respect your time by showing up when we say we will. Our technicians are all background checked, drug tested, and will leave the work area cleaner than they found it. The price we quote is the price you pay. We are the No Surprise guys, with more technicians, more trucks, and more experience. We get the job done right the first time. No surprises. Don't wait. Call Bell Brothers today for a free plumbing estimate or book online at nosurpriseguys.com. That's nosurpriseguys.com.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
July 4th savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $10,750 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST 5.3 in stock. Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $10,750 off new Silverado. Exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Trading from 11 renewal, not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacramento's official home of the 49ers.
San Francisco.
Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Got a couple answers here to some questions. People have been wondering here. I think Drapes brought it up. Who did Jacob Mizorowski, the Brewer who's made 5 starts, who did he replace on the All-Star team? He replaced Matthew Boyd, Cubs pitcher on the National League All-Star team, so he did not replace a Brewer. What was it that Mark Jones said this morning when he was talking to J. Ross that has everyone talking about Ben Simmons? We'll get to that in just a moment. We'll hear that. We got Drapes in Las Vegas today, of course, for Summer League. And real quick, because I know a lot of people are wondering, the bird, Jake, the bird that has been coming and eating out of my hand, he did come back today, this morning when I was in the backyard, came back for some breakfast. He's a little overly aggressive. He was on the bench where I sit waiting for me, and I have a seed pod, and before I could get the seeds out, he flew up, grabbed the seed pod, and then flew over the fence, and I don't think he's going to be able to eat that. So anyway, yeah, we're good friends, but he just sees me as a food source. So
yeah, he's just using you right now, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. There's the guy who has food. Yeah, give me food. That's the way it is. I just don't know why he ever started looking at me like that in the first place. But that's all right.
What do you get out of it? Like, ain't no give-take relationship. It's just a take-take relationship, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I got, my wife took some video I could send to you guys, and it's not much, but it's something, and it's kind of cool to say, hey, I got this bird that eats out of my hand. But I think we're going to have to renegotiate the terms of the friendship here pretty soon.
That's awesome. Birdman over here.
Yeah, the Birdman. As for the Ben Simmons talk, I know that Alan Stiles and Kyle were talking about it a lot today. People around town are talking about it. Drapes and I have been kicking it around. Why? Well, it's because Mark Jones was on with J. Ross today. Here's what Mark Jones had to say.
If any more dominoes fall, obviously the Kuminga thing is kind of orbiting around potential roster moves. I'm not sure that, the math works, the money works there based on what Kuminga's camp is probably looking at their client getting. But, he's a very attractive piece. Some of the chatter I've heard out there a little bit and I'm thinking about what price he might come at is, and this, some people will scoff at this, some people won't. When you look at his talents, Ben Simmons is still out there too, and a 6'10" guy that is NBA All Defensive Team, a great passer and facilitator. He'd be great in the type of style that the Kings might want to run this year. And he's not another mouth to feed.
Yeah.
More importantly, at the offensive end, but I would guess that we're going to see probably, if I had to bet, the same roster that we're looking at right now, without any major tweaks before training camp.
All right, so that was Mark Jones today, and thank you, Jay. So he didn't say the Kings are talking to Ben Simmons or the Kings have any interest. He just said, hey, Kuminga, maybe he's out there. Here's another name I'm hearing, Ben Simmons is still out there. So all he said was Ben Simmons is still available, and sounds like Mark thinks that might be an interesting fit. But that's all we have on that.
Yeah.
So we can rest easy.
Yeah, I'm hating sports journalism and sports media right now.
Really?
Because when you listen to it, he didn't, and all of a sudden it turns into a topic and, Ben Simmons, yes or no? Like, how about this? What if I say Russell Westbrook? Hey, I tell you, he's a name out there I'm hearing a lot about. Does that, that's not a report. That's not, you know what I mean? It's and no offense to Mark, we know Ben Simmons is out there. Now, if he said, Ben Simmons' camp is very interested in coming to Sacramento, or Sacramento has had talks, but it's like you kind of just threw it out there without anything to it, really.
Yeah.
This guy is Chris Paul still out there, and then we run with it for a 24-hour news cycle. It's
not Mark Jones' fault that I brought it up on the show, obviously. It does remind me, your comments remind me of this. I just saw it today at Awful Announcing. Brian Windhorst is saying that he wants to see, Amazon, and who else is it that has NBC, says when they're hiring all these people, they're hiring all these former players. How about you hire some reporters too? Hire some people that actually report on the NBA, some actual journalists. I know that's not exactly what you're saying in this case, Drapes, but it is an interesting point. It's one thing to have people just kind of, this is what I think, but we don't have enough reporting as it is in this country. And I think that's there's a glaring need for that, especially when it comes to sports right now.
Well, I mean, opinion has replaced reporting, right?
Yeah.
It's, a person can state their opinion and then that becomes the story.
Yeah.
That leads Stephen A. Smith's top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, which is just his opinion, but now that drives the conversation instead of actual stuff that's really happening. I could say, Drape's top 5 free agent targets for the Sacramento Kings. That's just my opinion. But I agree with Windhorst, but that's just the way it is. I mean, but it's not just sports, politics too. You know what I mean? It's all about opinion and not necessarily what's actually happening, reality, if you will.
Yeah, I think that we could pretty safely say that as far as we know, the Kings do not have interest in Ben Simmons, right? It's been reported the Knicks may. There have been suggestions that the Warriors may.
Right.
And, Mark Jones obviously is entitled to his very well-formed and educated opinion. But as far as we know, the Kings are not in on Ben Simmons, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't heard or seen one report that says that connects Ben Simmons and the Kings. You hear people, you hear the Carmichael Daves of the world, mention it and, that kind of thing, but that doesn't make it true or accurate that it's happening. And so that's why, and I had a talk with Sam Amick the other day down here in Summer League, and he appreciated what I said because, the Jason Andersons, the Sams, the Slates of the world, they don't view, dabble too much in the opinion. You know what I mean? It's that, and their opinions are based on stuff they've actually heard and seen. You know what I mean? They're not just sitting at home, spitfiring and spitballing in their basement, like, oh, what about this guy? And like, how many times have we seen on social media, Whitey, how about this trade proposal? Dude,
I can't even look at him anymore. Yeah.
Exactly. Everybody and their mom got a trade proposal out there. That's low hanging fruit. Anybody can do that. Give me something of substance that actually, is being talked about or has a chance of happening, not just some pie in the sky trade scenario.
Yeah. You'll see actual like headlines on some sites, things like Kings land 3-time All-Star in mock trade proposals. Like,
Right.
so what?
But then that gets aggregated and put out there, and people,
right.
is this a good, like, it's, yeah, it's frustrating, man.
It is interesting to me, and I think somewhat educational, that Mark Jones concluded his comments there with a point of view that you've also shared with us, is that it's likely that this is the Kings roster, and they'll have time to do things once the season starts. But it sounds like some of the team's broadcasters, yourself and Mr. Jones, feel like it's a good chance we're looking at the Kings roster to start the season right now.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I mean, from my vantage point, and this is just my opinion. So if people want to run with it, go for it. I just don't see the move there that's going to move the needle in terms of, like, I don't expect any big trades. You may be able to sign a Josh Okogie, somebody like that. I still believe we need a backup 3-man, but any move the Kings make, and this is just my opinion, it'll be around these, it'll be smaller moves just to fill some depth, if you will.
Tom Tuwitty with, I think, a great question. Tom, I don't pretend to know the answer to this yet. I intend to find out if I can. He says, what's the actual word on Saric? Some say he can't even walk anymore. LOL. If that's the case, that's not funny. I don't know, because we talked about this yesterday. If Saric is a guy who can play, you may have an asset there. But I don't know, Drapes. Do we know anything more about Dario Saric and where he is health-wise with his game?
No, I don't. And, Tom Tuwitty, maybe he's just being, sarcastic. Some say he can't even. Who's those some? This is what I'm saying. It's like, what, some people on social media are saying, like, yeah, I don't know anything about Sarge and his health status or anything like that. Kings did put out, if I'm correct, a welcome Dario tweet or whatever. And so, I've been told that they view Dario as a part of this team. Can play some small ball 5 for us, and so I believe they're planning on having him in camp and him playing.
Well, that would be good, because I've always liked him. I think he's a good player if he's healthy, and he struggled with health. So that would be a nice deal for the Kings. He doesn't bring the same things Valanciunas brings, no question about that, but he can be a really versatile kind of a small ball 5 for him going forward. So fingers crossed. Now,
as far as though, Whitey, hold up real quick. I want to stay right there for a second. And it just hit me because you mentioned JV Valanciunas, who they put a post out thanking him. And a lot of us view it as like, man, that's a huge loss for us. Huge loss for Sacramento. You bring in a guy like Saric. Do you think the Kings offense and the way they play is going in a different direction? So maybe a guy like Valanciunas doesn't fit in the plan that you want going forward in terms of your offense out there?
Yeah, I do. And I also think, in a way, Maxime Reynaud, in a way, potentially is a replacement for Valanciunas. I don't say he's directly the replacement, because I think that's disrespectful to Valanciunas. Right. But the idea would be, and we've talked to Scott Perry about this on the show, if Maxime Reynaud continues to progress the way you hope he will, you could play he and Domas at the same time. Valanciunas, you just couldn't do that. We tried. Right. We made a silly nickname, and it just didn't really work. Yeah. And I think it was last night, I think Scott Perry was talking about that, about how there are some teams in the league now that are going, double bigs, and it's good to have that ability. And they just felt that with Valanciunas and Sabonis going double bigs was not really an option, Drapes. You saw it.
Right, exactly. And so, some teams can get away with that. The Kings, probably felt like, what, we don't want to. That's not the direction. We want versatility from our bigs out there. Saric, he's a versatile guy. You look at, obviously, Max, he's versatile out there. And so it seems like that's the direction this team is going. Some more versatility out there, especially in that front court.
Yeah. Saric, ideally, I think would be, it looks like Trey Lyles is not going to be back. He would bring you a lot of the things Trey Lyles does. Trey Lyles is pretty consistent last few years. Trey Lyles is probably a better rebounder, not as good of a passer. It just depends on where Saric is with his game. So I think in some ways he'd be the guy that would be replacing Trey Lyles on this roster if Trey Lyles, in fact, is not back with the team. But another big win last night. That Maxime Reynaud guy, trade him, Drapes. They didn't need him. You saw how they played last night. We don't even need this guy.
My boy IJ stepping in at the 5 spot. You know what I mean? Cardwell coming off the bench, providing some toughness and some hard screens out there. No, they look good, man. Even my boy Devin Carter, man, slow start for him, but then he cranked it up. And Nique, I'm telling you, if they do an all summer league squad, Nique Clifford and Devin Carter, they might get some love on that, especially if they win tomorrow and advance to the tournament, if you will. No, they've been two of the bright spots, and throw Max in there also the first 2 games throughout this entire summer. Like, they've been wildly consistent, especially Nique, man. Nique is I'm a big fan of his. Now, Nick is all in on Nique Clifford. That's his guy now. So, yeah, man, he's looking great out there.
Well, he's also in the running not only for all summer league, but maybe don't they have an MVP award? I believe they do, Drapes.
Yeah, they do. Who's in the driver's seat? Him or Devin Carter right now? Carter's playing lights out.
Yeah, that first game though, that's gonna be tough to overcome. And when we're talking MVP.
Yeah, you're right. Nique's been consistent pretty much all 3 games so far.
Now, yesterday we had the high flyer on, and I asked him about how well the team has played together. And you'd made the point already this afternoon, pardon me, that, well, the Kings have a lot of guys that played together in the G League. To me, they do look like they're playing at a different level than some of the other summer league teams. And some of it is because they have played together. But the cohesiveness and the energy with which they're playing, some teams are like, I don't even know this guy on my team. I got to figure it out. And the Kings look like they're playing at a much, much higher level for what that's worth in summer league.
Yeah, exactly. And, even the guys, that come in off the bench and get some minutes, like your boy Plowden yesterday. Yeah, like even they look like they fit in, and kudos to the players, but the coaching staff, man, like I feel like what they're preaching is resonating with these guys. I'm looking at last night's game. How about my boy Mason Jones? We know Mason Jones is a scorer, right? He can get buckets. Well, Mason Jones last night, he had 7 points, but also 6 assists. So, he's not out there coming out there chucking it up or anything like that. And then, when you look at the shot distribution, Nique 8 shots, Mason 6, IJ 8, Crawford 6, Devin Carter 12, Stevens 4, Plowden 5. Like, nobody's really chucking it up. 12 is the most. When you look at, a team like Phoenix, they've had balance, but their guys, like Oso Ighodaro, he played with the Phoenix Suns last season. He got minutes, 1 for 8 out there. You know what I mean? Like, at least our guys are very balanced, very efficient, if you will, also.
I know it's silly to look at the Summer League box score much at all, but you mentioned Oso Ighodaro. Did you see what his plus minus was, Drapes?
Oh, no. Let me look. Hold up. Don't tell me yet.
It's not great.
All right. So Ryan Dunn was a minus 15. Hold up. Let me zoom up. Malawach was a minus 14. Wow. Minus 30?
They only lost by 18, and he was minus 30.
He was minus 30 at 25 minutes of play. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Conversely, let me look at ours. Crawford plus 20. We had one guy. Well, some of the end of the game guys, when the Suns, made it a game, came back a little bit. But Nique Clifford, a plus 23. Mason plus 19. Wow. Our guys are locked in, man. I hope everybody plays tomorrow. Why not go 4-0? You know what I mean? Why not get this W tomorrow?
Yeah. I do think it's a good sign. Not to get bogged down on the numbers, though, but the Kings made 33 shots. They had 23 turnovers. So that shows you that they're, like you say, they're sharing the ball. That's just not only is it an attractive style of basketball to watch, but that is, I think, the type of basketball that Doug Christie and Scott Perry want this team to play going forward.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it. Share the rock, pass the ball, play team basketball. And I love the defense that we're seeing from these guys, too. You know what I mean? A lot of energy, a lot of communication out there, picking up full court. No, you're right. This is Kings basketball, ideally going forward. And so, no, it's been great, man. I was talking to, like I said, to some of the coaches today, and everybody's ecstatic. There's nothing negative coming out of this. All the guys have been a surprise, not a surprise, but perform well out here.
Yeah, that's why I'm with you. We had the discussion earlier. Do you send anybody home at this point? It's like, hey, we've seen all we need to see. Rest up, enjoy the rest of your summer. To me, no, you're actually, it's such a positive vibe. You might as well just keep benefiting from that and building on that. What's it gonna hurt?
Right, 100%. Yeah, especially because we're leaning on some young guys. Devin Carter didn't have this experience. Nique, obviously a rookie. I'd actually like to see IJ featured a little more. You know what I mean? Give him some more shot attempts. These are learning opportunities here for these young Kings players, and especially Whitey, because you're playing the right way too. Now, if it's just street ball out there or something like that, where you can't get a whole lot out of it, but you're getting some valuable minutes for these guys and experience for these guys. Why not keep it going?
What stands out to you about the way Devin Carter is playing compared to how he played in the limited minutes we saw during the regular season?
I think just the confidence in his shot, I think it has been impressive to me. I will say one of the areas where I'd like to see some improvement from Devin, and let me know if you notice this too. Sometimes he over penetrates and gets in his mind, I'm shooting this ball no matter what. You know what I mean? I feel like at times when he gets into the paint, he holds on to the ball a little too long. Like he's pivoting, he's trying to, through hell or high water, get his shot up. It's like, all right, dude, it ain't there. Get off the ball. It's okay to get off the ball and relocate out there. So that's one thing, if he plays tomorrow, that I want to see from him, just an area of improvement. But what he is looking like is one of the best players on the floor night in and night out, the last couple of games here. It's like, you know what? I know who I am. He's playing with a swag, man. He's playing with some confidence that I love. But like I said, that's the one thing. And he got to start making his free throws too. He got to start knocking down some free throws. He missed a few last night. But other than that, he's been fantastic, man.
Yeah, I think the coaches got to be pleased. Do you think they're pleased, or would they still like to see him, specifically? Well, yeah, the numbers are good, but we would like to see him as more of a point guard. I think you got to be pleased with the way he's become a leader on this team, which he should be by all rights.
Yeah, I think so, because that first game we were like, ooh, I don't know, man. I don't. He's not looking good. But these last two, something's clicked for him out there. You know what I mean? Like I said, 7 of 12 last night, had the 3 assists. I mentioned the free throws, just 0 of 2 from the free throw line. But in terms of, that's what you want to see, though. This is a lottery pick from a season ago, and albeit it's his first summer league game, he's looking like one of the best players out there. And how about this too, Whitey? I'm looking at it. Just 1 turnover yesterday.
Very nice.
Like, that's nice. I'll take that from Devin Carter.
Did you hear about this? This apparently happened yesterday in Vegas. I only read about it today. Maybe you actually saw some of this, but there's a former NBA player who's been out a while because of injury, and he worked out for some teams yesterday, former teammate of Domas's. And apparently he looked pretty good, and he may still have a future in the league. Victor Oladipo. Did you hear about that?
Oladipo, I did hear about that. Just some of the stories that are out there. And I feel like Oladipo's like 40 years old or something, but how old is he? Whitey? He's not that
33.
old. 33.
Yeah.
I mean, in today's NBA, that's nothing. Guys are playing till they're 38, 39. And they say he's in fantastic shape. I don't know. I don't know. I was a big Oladipo fan. The talent, he's from that era that him, John Wall, guys who had immense talent, Kemba Walker, if you will, but injuries just derailed them. And, it would be nice to see Oladipo come back.
Yes, 2-time All-Star. He's 33. He last appeared in an NBA game in 2023 with the Heat. He tore his left patellar tendon in a playoff game, and he has a long injury history. But yesterday, He played full court 5-on-5 in a group workout of international pros, and multiple team sources in attendance came away impressed. And he's described as being in excellent shape as he pursues another comeback. I don't know if that necessarily would be NBA or overseas, but I'm pulling for him. I wish him the best.
Yeah, I'm pulling for him too. Like you said, 33 years old. But I feel like the NBA at times they get an idea of this player. Like, for instance, Oladipo's trying to come back. You know who else has been trying to come back?
Who's that?
Jahlil Okafor. Remember him?
Wow, yes.
Yeah, and he's been tearing it up in other leagues and everything like that. But it's this, it's an opinion of him. And he last played. Oh, I guess he was with the Pacers for a cup of coffee last season, according to this. Let's see, Jahlil Okafor played one game last season for the Indiana Pacers. I didn't even know that. But before that, he last played 2021 was his last. I mean, he's still 29 years old. How come this dude can't get another opportunity? I feel like, I don't want to say guys get blackballed or anything, because that's not the right word. It's just there's this narrative, this thought that they're the same player that they were when they got bounced out of the league. Okafor, to me, you read about him, he's expanded his game. He's knocking down threes. He's showing, but he's not getting no opportunity.
Yeah, that was one of the things that happened to him. I think a traditional big in the game kind of passed him by. So good for him. By the way, Oladipo on X said, I know I can help any team in any role win in any way. Good for him. So I'd rather have him than Ben Simmons, but that's just me. I don't mean to start anything. When we come back, this is not something you hear from one of golf's greats. One of golf's greats with the British Open upon us is asking, what's really the point of winning? And we'll look at that when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Fidium Fiber.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA3 Weather Center for your Tuesday. A notable drop in temperatures. We'll feel that. Bright sunshine expected with the occasional gusty breeze. Temperatures upper 80s to about 90 before dropping back to the 50s overnight tonight. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
It's about time they
fixed that pothole.
Invented better windshield wipers.
Made an internet that just works. Fidium Fiber Internet, starting at only $30 a month. It feels like Fidium. Offer available to residential customers only. Terms and conditions apply. See Fidium.com for details.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
There was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's TREX.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo.
Sponsored by Trex Racing Cage Chicken Fingers and Naturewood Home Furnishings. Tickets at catpfest.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton and Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton and Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton and Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Around here, the summer can smack you silly, especially if your AC is not functioning at a high level. Whitey Gleason here. I had the opposite problem over the winter. System went down. It was panic time, but Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating saved the day. Let them save you from unnecessary summer misery. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, reliable, trustworthy. They do great work. They won awards for their service. Check the reviews at leesair.com. Find out about their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Save your summer now. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating on the web at leesair.com. License number 635-355.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sacktown Sports 1140.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Kyle Draper in Vegas. Drapes, did you bring your sticks? Are you able to play any golf in Vegas during Summer League?
I didn't. I thought about it, and I thought about bringing Nick's also, but I'm like, it's so hot. You got to get up early. And actually, some of the Kings staffers got out there this morning. Saw them back at the hotel, and they said, yeah, we were one of the first ones out, but by the time we got to hole 16, it was brutal out there. And so I'm like, I'll take a break from golf. I'll be playing a lot when I get back, probably play Saturday, probably play Sunday. So I'll have enough time for golf. Man.
Do you know who on the team or in the front office who plays the most golf?
Wow, who plays? Well, I'll tell you what, Scott Perry's always talking about golf. First thing, I saw him yesterday and talked to him, and Nick was with me. First thing he asked Nick, do you golf? And so I think I would say Zach golfs a lot, every chance he gets. He, especially even on the road during the season, he talked to me about it. Obviously
he's just up at Edgewood.
Yeah. Malik's out there golfing. Keegan's out there golfing as well. But even some of the security guys are getting out as well. Some of those guys golf. So it's a big thing on the squad.
Mm-hmm. We got the British Open coming up. I love that tournament because sometimes the courses are so foreign for looking for American players. With the links golf and some of those moon bunkers. Sometimes I feel like that's how the rest of us feel on a regular course when you guys are out there, and it seems like you're on another planet or something. But this is unusual. I'm sure that greats in various sports have felt this way before. You don't hear him actually talking about it a lot because you've got Scotty Scheffler on the brink of the British Open. He could win his fourth major. He could win 3 or 4 legs of the career Grand Slam at age 29. So he's the unquestioned best player in the world. And today he said he does not find true fulfillment in winning. Isn't that just on the surface a little stunning, Drapes?
No, I get it. I get it 1,000%, Whitey, because in his career and in our careers, shoot, in my career, you're striving, you're trying to get as far as you can, you're trying to get as high as you can, and you're never really satisfied. You're never fully satisfied, and I get it, man. I'll tell a story about my situation. Dealing with my ex. One of the things she said, she's like, Kyle, you're never satisfied. Like, I'll call it what it is. Great job in Boston. People looked up to you, and it still wasn't enough. You win multiple majors, and you just keep chasing. You keep chasing. And so I get it 100%, man. I got to hear the full quote. I don't know if Jay can pull it or find it or whatever, because I would love to hear, just the tone and how he says it. But I get it, man. It's like until maybe you finish and your career is over, can you really look back and say, exhale, damn, I did it. You're on the rat race, man.
Yeah, we'll see if we can find the audio. In the meantime, I do have some of the quotes. It's interesting. This was just today, and he said, this is not a fulfilling life. Scotty Scheffler. It's fulfilling from the sense of accomplishment, but it's not fulfilling from a sense of the deepest places of your heart. And again, I'm sure there have been many athletes that have felt this way. I just don't recall an athlete at the top of his game talking this openly about this. He said, that's something I wrestle with on a daily basis. It's like showing up at the Masters every year. It's like, why do I want to win this golf tournament so badly? Why do I want to win the Open Championship so badly? I don't know, because if I win, it's going to be awesome for 2 minutes. This is incredible. Right. I'm not critical. I'm not being critical of him. It's just, wow, a real an interesting glimpse inside the mind of a guy that I had no idea a guy like that successful is thinking that way, Drapes.
Man, I mean, we can get really deep with this, because you're touching the epicenter of my life pretty much, Whitey, if I'm being honest. Great job. Things are great. Kings fans, have been very supportive and everything. But at the end of the day, what's most important? You know what I mean? Is it professional success or personal fulfillment? And I think that's what he's talking about. It's I know for myself, professionally, things have been great. It's fine. But damn, personally, I still feel an empty part inside of me. And so I get it, man. It's because then, if you're Scotty Scheffler, you're on to the next tournament. Then you got another tournament. You can't really even enjoy it, really. You enjoy it for that day, that night, the next day, and then you're on to the next one. And here's the thing, too. When it comes to golf, that you're never going to be perfect. And you're chasing Tiger, you're chasing Jack. You're constantly chasing. And so, I get it, man. And like you said, you never hear a current athlete speak like that, because they're trained to, be the best they can be, strive for greatness, and at the end of the day, it's like, how enjoyable is that? It's fun. It's a great ride, but how fulfilling is that? I get it 100%, man.
Yeah. Jay has some audio here from Scotty Scheffler, who talked today at the British Open about how, I win, but at some point, what's the point?
I think it's kind of funny. I think, I think I said something after the Byron this year about, like, it feels like you work your whole life to celebrate winning a tournament for like a few minutes. It only lasts a few minutes, that kind of euphoric feeling. And I like to win the Byron Nelson Championship at home. I literally worked my entire life to become good at golf, to have an opportunity to win that tournament. And you win it, you celebrate, you get to hug my family, my sister's there. It's such an amazing moment. And then it's like, okay, now what are we going to eat for dinner? Life goes on. Is it great to be able to win tournaments and to accomplish the things I have in the game of golf? Yeah. I mean, it brings tears to my eyes just to think about, because it's literally worked my entire life to become good at this sport, and to have that kind of sense of accomplishment, I think is a pretty cool feeling. To get to live out your dreams is very special. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not out here to inspire the next generation of golfers. I'm not here to inspire somebody else to be the best player in the world, because what's the point? This is not a fulfilling life. It's fulfilling from the sense of accomplishment, but it's not fulfilling from a sense of like the deepest, places of your heart. There's a lot of people that make it to what they thought was going to fulfill them in life. And then you get there and all of a sudden you get to number one in the world. And then they're like, what's the point? And, I really do believe that because, what is the point? You're like, why do I want to win this tournament so bad? That's something that I wrestle with on a daily basis. It's like showing up at the Masters every year. It's like, why do I want to win this golf tournament so badly? Why do I want to win the Open Championship so badly? I don't know. Because if I win, it's going to be awesome for about 2 minutes. And then we're going to get to the next week and it's going to be like, hey, you won 2 majors this year. How important is it for you to win the FedEx Cup playoffs? And it's just like, we're back here again, So we really do. We work so hard for such little moments. And, I'm kind of a sicko. I love putting in the work. I love being able to practice. I love getting out to live out my dreams. But at the end of the day, sometimes I just don't understand the point, because
there you go. Scotty Scheffler. Yeah.
Man, that's tough, Whitey. That's tough, man, because I'll be honest. I've even thought, all right, Kyle, you're doing play-by-play. You're doing radio. You're doing pre and post. Mom and dad are proud of you. The community's proud of you. But what impact are you making in the community? Like I've thought about, once the kids graduate high school, walking away from it all, being more hands-on in the community, grassroots effort, you know what I mean? Starting a men's group for fathers out there, calling games. It's great. It's fun. It's enjoyable. But when you walk off that set, when the game is over and you walk out of Golden One Center, reality hits, man. And so I 1,000% get what Scotty is talking about, man. It's not fulfilling. What's fulfilling to me is helping the young kids in the community, inspiring others. Like that's the fulfilling part, not the actual job. It's how you can help others and impact others, not to become sportscasters, not to become TV or radio personalities, to be successful in their own right in their life so they can overcome some of the similar obstacles that I've had to overcome. That's the fulfilling part, not calling games, not hearing the roar of the crowd. That's not fulfilling. That's a job. Fulfilling is going into San Joaquin County Jail and speaking to the inmates there and trying to that's the fulfilling part. So I get what Scotty is talking about.
Yeah, the greatest golfer in the world, the top golfer in the world, Scotty Scheffler, on the eve of the British Open says, what's the point of winning? And the conversation continues when we come right back to Sacktown Sports.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com, sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
It is peak summertime for Sacramento River Cats baseball. From July 18th through the 27th, we have 9 River Cats home games in 10 days at Sutter Health Park. It's the perfect time to bring the whole family for affordable, action-packed baseball and nonstop fun. With every game offering something special, don't miss the excitement. There's no better place to be this summer than right here at the ballpark with the Sacramento River Cats. Get your tickets at rivercats.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
We've been talking about reporters. Here's a reporter for you, Susan Slusser from the Chronicle, covers the Giants, used to cover the A's. Susan Slusser today with an exclusive. San Francisco is the front runner for the 2028 All-Star Game. That's if Major League players compete in the Olympics, as appears increasingly likely. So Susan Slusser says San Francisco front runner for the 2028 All-Star Game. I believe she also reported that it's raining in Atlanta today, so we'll see about the All-Star Game.
Let me ask you this, though, regarding that, because I saw her. What does the Olympics and All-Star, like, what does that have to do with each other? Like she said, if maybe, help me with that.
I will have to do more research on that. It's a fair question. I don't have the answer for you. I kind of wondered the same thing, but yes, good question. I'm not sure. Yeah.
All right, not to put you on the spot or anything. I saw that. And, I just didn't understand it. So
the only thing that I've seen, and I'm kind of like you fellas, I've looked at it on the surface. I looked at a few different reporters talk about a journalist. It would be the fact of the remember, even though the Olympics are supposed to be in Los Angeles, they could be using some other sites for different things. Meaning coming up here or, trying to figure out what they're going to do here in the state. And then the other part about that too is the timing of things. Is we know the Olympics are normally August, more or less. And so then from the All-Star Game to August, you would have to have training camp and get together, kind of like World Baseball Classic. So it's really about the logistics and the timing is what I've read about. That's the only thing I've seen. So don't take it as 100%. I've seen a few, baseball insiders kind of mention the timing, logistics. Could a ballpark be used if the Olympics needed to be, if they need to use the Oracle for whatever reason, those type of things.
Yeah. She also has this today on possible relocation of the A's. Susan Slusser on X. While in Las Vegas, MLB sources told me Oakland would not be a potential spot in the future because Manfred was so unhappy with the Tao administration. Today, he says he doesn't think he'll have to worry about working with her again and has no issues with any government officials, which would suggest Oakland could be back in play if Vegas falls through. So,
do we? No offense to Oakland. Would baseball be okay with that? Like that venue?
Well, I think you'd have to have ownership come in, and supposedly there are people that are putting groups together, and they'd have to have a stadium plan, a plan for a new stadium. Yeah, I think you're right. That's one of the reasons baseball got out of there. Is like, we can't keep playing in this place. But maybe the door would be open for that down the road. And I could see how baseball might, on some level, play that up as, oh, we're back in Oakland. Look at that. Yes, we listen to our fans and everything's right with the world. Maybe.
Can you imagine, though? Oakland fans would be like picketing, boycotting, and everything. It'd be a spectacle outside there. Come on.
Yeah. I just saw something. I don't know for a fact that this is true. I think it is, but I can't say for a fact. But there's a site that says in Vegas, where they're building the new stadium, of course, they use lumber. The lumber that they're using for the stadium in Vegas is from a lumber company that is called Cell. So I think that
get out of here.
Come on. Spell wrong? I mean, spelled differently?
SELL. I'll show you the pictures.
No way.
Yeah. I'll show you that.
That's hilarious. I gotta look that up, man. It's
like I said, I can't. It looks legit. I can't necessarily vouch for it 100%. But we were just talking here before we went to break. It's one of the most unusual stories, sports stories I think we've ever talked about. Scotty Scheffler is getting ready for the British Open. He is the unquestioned best player in the world. He said today, this is not a fulfilling life. It's fulfilling from the sense of accomplishment. He talked about how you play and it's great, and then you win and you're happy for 2 minutes. And Drape says he can really relate to what Scotty Scheffler had to say today.
Yeah, man, because and I'm gonna put myself out there, Jay and Whitey, please, because one of the things when I talk about living in Sacramento and working in the area and coming out here, and we've talked about legacy and everything like that. I don't want to be known as just King's announcer. And so, if any grassroots organizations, any youth groups, any, jails, whatever it may be, man, because, everybody's different. What's fulfilling to me might not be fulfilling to Scotty Scheffler or to that person. But, it sounds like listening to him, it's like, for instance, I said my ex says, I'm never satisfied. Like, you would think I should be the happiest dude in the world. I got 2 great kids. I got a great job. The city is supporting me. But it's like, no, there's something still missing. There's something that's not fulfilling. And is it giving back to the community? Is it, I spoke to a couple of groups last week. Those are the things when I walk out, I'm like, that felt great. That felt. And so winning tournaments, it feels great, I'm sure, for Scotty Scheffler. But he probably thinks I might need a bigger purpose. Like, at the end of the day, what is it? It's just wins, At the end of the day, what is it? It's just, calling Kings games and supporting my family, which is great. But I want to have a greater impact out there, man.
Well, to that point, next week, I'm supposed to meet with somebody from Big Brothers Big Sisters. I volunteered for them before, but we're going to discuss, among other things, ways that the 3 of us and anyone else at the station can get involved with helping Big Brothers Big Sisters. So, I'm with you. It's like there's a lot. Jay and I have talked about this, after the show, Drape. So it's like so much more that can be done there. So that's something as a show that we're working towards. And as far as Scotty Scheffler, reminds me of something. Remember after the Red Sox, after all those years and the curse of the Bambino, and they won the World Series. The Red Sox won the World Series, which was unthinkable. And Terry Francona, who was a manager at the time, he said, you win the World Series, and then you know what? You go home and you got to clean the gutters. It's like, life does go on. So I think for Scotty Scheffler, it's just a matter of, and he's kind of saying it's just living in the moment. It doesn't seem to last, but when you're playing golf, whether you're just one of us or you're playing for a championship, there's nothing quite like that. You win and you that's what it is supposed to be. It doesn't last forever, but there's nothing quite like that experience. Whatever you're doing, Trace, when you're doing a basketball game, very few of us ever get to experience that. And maybe it's not the most fulfilling thing long-term, but when you're doing it, that is a peak experience that is, good for you. That's great. That's good for you.
Yeah, 100%. When you're in it, man, it's the greatest feeling. And there have been times where I'm sitting there, during a free throw or a commercial, and I'm looking around at the stands and I'm looking in the arena and like,
Yeah.
damn, Kyle, you're a kid from Philadelphia and you get to do this. And so you do appreciate it, no doubt about it. But man, once you walk out of that building, like Scotty Scheffler was talking about, the reality hits. You know what I mean? You still got your son and daughter, you still got the kids, when they don't care that, I mean, Nick does now because he's getting some of the perks and benefits. And let me take that back. The dude's living his best life right now. But, I'm still dad at the end of the day, no matter what career we have out there.
Yeah, you got to have that balance, which I would think for a pro athlete especially, it's so hard because the more balance you want, guess what? There's other players working harder than you. If you want to be the best, it's tough to find that balance, I would imagine.
It's real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, because I was, along those lines. So we're at the game last night, the late game, watching Bronny and everything. And LeBron comes walking by, has his wife, Savannah, and young Zuri, his daughter. And I was thinking, man, what is her life like? You know what I mean? Like you said, Scotty Scheffler, great golfer, world's #1. Imagine being the child of LeBron James, whether it's the pressure or whatever it may be, man. Like, what is that life like? It looks glamorous. It looks great. You got all the money in the world. But as you get older, it's like, all right, well, how else can I make an impact? And so I saw her, and she's just out there in front walking. It was just like, does she know she's Zuri James? Like, you're LeBron's, but you couldn't tell because she's a 7-year-old or 9-year-old or whatever, just being a typical 9-year-old out there.
Yeah. So we'll see how he does in this tournament and see how other players, if any, react to that. Some people are saying, and I get it. They're like, oh, cry me a river. You have all this money, but it's just, I don't know that I've ever heard an athlete at the top of his or her game talk as openly about that as he has. So be interested to see where this goes from here. Here's where we're going. How's the Kings off season going? There's one writer who is not impressed with the Kings off season. We'll tell you who and why not when we come back to Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping? Hi, this is Franklin Rosen with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water reel.
The Giant Summer Sale is here. Get giant savings on our giant selection only at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save during the Honda Summer Event and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. See all our specials at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emron Plotty, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo.
Sponsored by Trex Racing Canes, Chicken Fingers, and Naturewood Home Furnishings. Tickets at catpfest.com.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
I don't know why I did this last night. Maybe you saw him. You know, Drapes is in Vegas. And last night, watching the Kings game, at one point, Mark Jones was interviewing Scott Perry. And they actually had a split screen. So when they were showing Scott Perry, sometimes it was full screen, sometimes it was split screen with the game on the other half of the screen. If you look behind Scott Perry, you could see sitting there in the stands, you could see the high flyer next to Kyle Draper, next to Nick. And I texted Drapes, like, you're on TV. You know, he's on TV all the time, but I was like, okay, thanks. But I just felt like you should know, if you didn't know, Drapes, you were on national TV while you're watching the game.
No, you had my back, man. You know, I don't want to be picking my nose or anything like that. You know, you were looking out for me. I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Yeah. And I thought at one point Nick did kind of look over. I don't know if you said something to him, but he just glanced over. But anyway, it was an interesting interview and another nice, fun game, feel-good win for the Kings at Summer League.
Yeah. Feeling good, man. And Nique's, I tell you what, Nique Clifford, here's the thing about Nique. When I watched him the first couple of games, the thing that, impressed me was his use of his body as he's going to the hole. Initiating the contact, creating the space, but then those sidestep threes and those quick release threes that he had I didn't know he had that in his game. And I'm telling you, I'm trying to think of a comparison out there, from an offensive standpoint, maybe a Devin Booker, but Booker's a little more, got a little more girth, if you will, to him. But man, this dude has some skill, man, and his playmaking ability. We got to talk about that. I mean, his passing, somebody said it on the text line, I think, or YouTube chat, the one-handed, left-handed pass across court on time and on target, man. He's been phenomenal this summer league.
Yeah, my favorite play was the play they drew up to get the ball to Devin Carter at the end of the first half, and then they threw in, just kind of casually throwing in that three at the horn. Just shows how together they are and how well they're playing right now.
Yeah, exactly. And Chris with the K asking the YouTube chat, is tomorrow's Kings game being aired at 4:30 or 7? I've seen conflicting times. I believe tomorrow's game is at 12:30, right? It's a super early game, according to my schedule.
We'll have to double check on that.
I saw 7.
Really? Let me double check, because the schedule they handed out here, Jay, said
7's back to back.
12:30. Interesting. Maybe it was a mistake. No, 12:30 tomorrow, big fella.
Well, you would know. You're there, brother.
ESPN2. I'm on the website too. 12:30 Pacific. Sac Cleveland on ESPN2 tomorrow.
So that might have been updated because the last two were 7-7, and then the last one after that was TBD.
Oh yeah, so they might have
Yeah.
changed it, right?
Yeah.
Because of the magnitude of the game or the teams. Aren't the Cavs also having a good start?
What Cleveland? Yes, they are 2-1.
2-1.
They are 2-1. Yes, yes. Minnesota. Did Minnesota get the win today or no? I can't remember. They were undefeated coming into today. So it's I think if the Kings win tomorrow, they're in, man. They're based on point differential and everything, they're going to be playing this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Fellas, let me just say 80-1.
That's right.
I'm gonna just leave it
Oh,
there.
you did say that.
80-1. The
I
stars
forgot about
align.
that.
Yep.
I forgot about that. Oh man,
Best advice we've ever given.
Who gave that? I can't remember. We were talking
Jay
about.
said load up on that.
Well, I said that, but we were talking about. Somebody put out the odds, right?
Oh, it was your boy. I get the newsletter every day.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, it was Shap. Now who was it?
I get the newsletter every day, Jay. I forget the name
I
of it.
can't think of who it was. And we were talking about having odds on Summer League.
Yeah.
And it was 80-1.
That's right.
Hey, my eyes got a
those
little
are good
big,
odds.
believe me, and they're still big.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said jump on that immediately.
Jump on that.
We need to jump on this and then jump right off of it because at Bleacher Report, Grant Hughes. Anybody know anything about Grant Hughes? Grant Hughes.
Nah.
And they just posted this today. Actually, yesterday. One word to describe every team's 2025 NBA offseason so far. Again, this is just posted yesterday. For example, the Hawks, giddy. Celtics, bummer. Nets, opportunistic, and on and on and on. Charlotte Hornets, shrewd. What word do we have for the Kings? Let me ask you guys, if you have one off the top of your head, what's one word you would use to describe the Kings offseason so far? Anything come to mind, Drapes? Not to put you on the spot.
I would say solid.
Solid.
This is not bad. Solid.
Yep.
Going intriguing.
Okay, I like that, Jay.
Those are really good. They make a lot of sense. It's not the word that Grant Hughes picked, though, for Sacramento.
Better not be something negative.
He's got Phoenix Suns, regretful. Trailblazers, ambitious. Sacramento Kings, the word is wayward. Here's wayward. He says, beyond bringing back almost anyone who either used to play for or play for the organization, anyone who used to work for or play for the organization, the Sacramento Kings don't seem to have a unifying plan. If you exclude signing journeyman Dennis Schroeder to start a point guard, the Kings' biggest offseason move was empowering Scott Perry, the executive who once signed a 40-year-old Vince Carter, 36-year-old Zach Randolph, and 31-year-old George Hill in the same 2017 offseason. That was before leaving just a few months later as those veteran acquisitions grew frustrated on a go-nowhere team. Perry presides over a head coach in Doug Christie that he did not hire. The roster is aging, short on defenders, and coming off a dismal 40-42 season. De'Aaron Fox is gone. Domantas Sabonis could follow him out the door sooner than later, and the whole Bulls West roster construction plan leaves a lot to be desired. Owner Vivek Ranadive has yet to empower the right people or stick to a plan for more than a couple of seasons. As has been the case for most of the last 25 years, Sacramento is adrift, says Grant Hughes, Bleacher Report. Wayward is the word for the Kings. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be upset by this. Some people say, don't worry about it. I just say, all right, write that down because I think Grant Hughes is wrong, and I would delight in showing him how wrong he is when he's proven wrong down the road.
Ooh, I like that, Whitey. I agree with you, man. Grant Hughes must got an axe to grind. He must have applied to the Sacramento Bee and got denied or something, like didn't get a job or something, because this seems personal. Like he's ripping everything basically. And outside of adding Dennis Schroeder, outside of adding a starting point guard, Dennis Schroeder is going to be big for this team. Wayward, and he references Scott Perry's signings, his first go around in Sacramento.
That's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago. And I'll be honest, right now, this franchise, this organization needs some stability. You know what I mean? We don't need to be the Houston Rockets from 3 years ago, just out there, a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off and everything like that. We need some stability. And so if Scott Perry came in here and, cut everybody and traded everybody, that it could have some dire consequences. We were 40-42. Nobody was happy with that. You know what I mean? But you had a point guard. You had two promising rookies. I could argue Scott Perry does have a plan, a path ahead, an idea of where he wants this organization to go.
Yeah, I really think that as I look at it here, if you get to the essence of this Grant Hughes is saying Scott Perry doesn't know what he's doing, because he's saying Vivek Ranadive has yet to empower the right people. And then starting off by going back to some signings that Scott Perry made 8 years ago before he left. Scott Perry left. So that was one of the reasons the players are so unhappy, is because you had a little bit of a regime change there. But the other thing that stands out, while, okay, some of this is fair. We understand the Kings have struggled, but there's no mention of the draft picks. And right now, that is the story of the Kings offseason. So if you're going to give an assessment of the Kings offseason and not mention their draft picks, you're just not doing it right.
Yeah, 100%, Whitey. I mean, you could argue, we've had the two of the most impactful rookies out here at Summer League so far.
Right.
And so you got to give them some love for that. I mean, it sounds like a hit job, if you ask me, a hit piece on Scott Perry and the organization. And here's the thing. I know the narrative is Doug was forced on Scott Perry. Like Scott Perry. Here's the thing, though. If Scott Perry believes in Doug, thinks he's going to be a good coach, who cares whether Vivek told him or not?
Right.
The question is, was Scott Perry on board with it? And it seems like, because if you're Scott Perry, think about it like this, Whitey. Your job in the future going forward is directly tied to the current coach. If you have a coach you don't believe in, why would you take the job?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. So I believe Scott, maybe he didn't have a say, but he was okay with it. He was more than okay enough to take the job. So it's not necessarily a negative, like, oh, he got forced, or, Scott Perry, Doug got forced on Scott Perry.
Right. And I think Jerry might have said this. They got it right. It appears they got it right. Obviously, we got to wait and see how it plays out. Doug Christie was the guy that they should have hired, and they did. Scott Perry has come in, and while it's very early, so far he's done a really good job with the draft. So there's nothing to complain about. You make a great point. Scott Perry wouldn't come in and take the job if he didn't think Doug Christie was the guy. So it looks like no matter how you ended up here, you're in a good spot with both of these guys. So that's a good thing. And this has energized this franchise. We've seen it, even though it's only Summer League, to go from we don't have a first-round pick to ended up with two guys that some would say they got 2 first-round picks. Reno technically was not, but a lot of people thought he would be. That is a job well done. So I think this is way off base, but again, it's low-hanging fruit. Sacramento, everyone thinks Sacramento's terrible, so they're wayward. They don't know what they're doing. I think Grant Hughes just doesn't understand what the Kings are doing, and that there's a big difference between that and the Kings not knowing what they're doing.
Right. Exactly. And I do believe, Sacramento's history, the Kings' history, if you will, is, being every move we make is going to be graded under that lens, viewed under that lens. Well, they brought in Dennis Schroeder, or, Doug Christie is the coach. Of course, Vivek had a say in it and everything like that. And so until we overcome that, however, until we, show what, we're a stable franchise and that stability that I talk about, these are the shots that's going to be out there against us.
Right. And like I said, some of that is fair. And it's like, you just got to show people they're wrong. You talk is one thing. No, we're doing this, that. At some point, it's incumbent upon the organization to show people, no, look, see, we're winning. Somebody asked, what was the word that this writer gave the Warriors? Standoff, because of the fact that they appear to be in limbo because of Kuminga. So that was a word that he gave them. It's surprising because it seems like the Kings, for what it's worth, more and more writers now, Drapes, based on this offseason, are actually saying, no, the Kings have done a good job with the draft and in this offseason. So this really kind of stuck out to me.
Yeah. It's, if you look at some of the tweets from, people who are in attendance working out here at Summer League, writers, they're bullish. They're high on the two Kings rookies. I saw several, posts where people say, my takeaways so far, my standouts from Summer League so far, Nique Clifford, Max Rayno. And so, I think the early returns, they hit on both draft picks. You got to give them credit for that. Dennis Schroeder, I'm a big fan of Dennis Schroeder. I like the signing. I hate to lose JV and Jake LaRavia, so you can knock them off a point for that, if you will. But, I said it earlier. I give it a C+, B- off season. I will say this, too, though. I didn't tell you guys. I saw my boy Jake LaRavia yesterday.
Really?
And, I chopped it up with Jake
Turn your back on him? Did you say, I'm not talking to you?
I thought about it. But he's sitting there with his best buddy, his BFF, his baby, Austin Reeves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go up to him, I'm like, Jake, you're killing me, bro. I'm like, you're killing me right now. What are you doing? Like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, yo, I had to make a business decision. It was strictly a business decision. I get to play with LeBron and Luka in Los Angeles. And I'm like, where are you from? He's like, I'm from Indiana. And I'm like, dude, why you want to go to LA? And so, nothing but love, obviously, for Sacramento, but he kept it strictly business, he said. But Austin Reeves is his best bud. I mean, like, they're just hanging out, chopping it up and everything. And so I get it, man. But I had to let him know, dude, you broke our hearts in Sacramento.
Yeah. He just seems so enthusiastic. He could have at least tempered that, right? Like, I like
that's what I'm saying.
I've got a lot of options instead of, I love it there. Everything's great.
What did he post to? Like Jake LA Ravia or something like that after. And I'm like, bro, give us a minute to deal with the rejection. You know what I mean? Deal with the breakup. He just went to his new boo, if you will, man. Yeah, a little too excited about that.
Speaking of boo, when he comes back, will he be booed?
Yeah, a little bit.
Kings legend.
Might be, huh?
Yeah, because you went to the Lakers.
Yeah.
Right. That's the
thing. Lakers? Oh, yeah. Different. First of all, you will be booed because you got that jersey on.
Yeah. What do you think, Dre? And I know, Dre, I'm not asking you what you think fans should do, but do you think that they would have some? That's a tough one because he was a fan favorite here.
Right. That is a tough one because, like Jay said, if he wasn't wearing Lakers gear, he probably get some cheers. But you go to the Lakers, and also, oh man, he played 19 games in Sacramento. Is that worthy of cheers? I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I don't. Yeah.
They were there. I think Deuce had posted that they were going to retire his jersey, hang his jersey from the rafters. Like that first game. You remember the first game? I know you did that first game.
Yep. Came in 7 early points. He changed the tone of that game.
Yeah.
But 19 games, I give him a golf clap. I give him all right, Jake. Now go back to the bench. Like I give him a golf clap.
Tribute video.
Right. What is it going to be, that one game?
Yeah,
right?
A tribute slide or something. Yeah,
slide.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. It's time for, guess what? Check it with TC. What's up, TC?
My check.
How are you, TC?
In early.
Yeah?
I'm tapping in early. Hey, listen, Drapes, what's up, Whitey?
Hey.
Jay in the back. Check it out, bro. My thing is, I don't care about what the media talking about. I don't care about what the other fan bases is talking about the Kings. I don't care. Scott Perry is putting his team together. I had to call in earlier and tell Alan about that because he kept asking about a question about, I'm talking to people, I'm doing this and that, I'm talking in circles, and everybody is hating on the Kings, talking about what are the Kings doing? It don't matter what we're doing. It matters what we're doing in Sacramento. It matters to Scott Perry. It matters to Doug Christie, Alvin Gentry, Bobby. It matters to those guys. As long as we put our team together out here in Sac, we going, hey, we gonna come with a rude awakening to the with the league. Like when we made the playoffs 2 years ago, the league didn't know what to do with themselves. Then everybody wanted to jump on our bandwagon. Oh, Sac Kings, like the beam, like this. I don't care about none of that. Whitey, Drake, don't get caught up in that madness, bro, about what media talking about. What is Sacramento doing? We trying to put a team together, bro. That's what we doing. That's all I got, man. That got me hot, bro.
Yeah, boy, TC. Check it.
From the 916, I think that guy used GPT and asked it to roast the Kings because he really doesn't know anything about us. From the 209, Grant Hughes' career is wayward. There's some other things that I'm not going to share about Hughes. Somebody here has from the 916, Kings one word is meh.
Damn,
that's
just meh?
Yeah, this offseason. Meh.
Yeah, this dude ain't been watching Summer League, obviously. Like, it's hard to be meh about Max and Nique right now after what we've seen. And even our boy Devin Carter. It's hard to be, that's nice. No, it's hard to be meh after watching those guys.
From the 530, how much do you guys think Nique and Max are benefiting from playing with part of the Kings G League team? Could it be making them look better than if they were playing with a bunch of randoms? Not hating, just asking. I think you were talking about that earlier, Drapes.
Yeah, of course I do think it makes them look better, and that's what you want, though. When you're part of a well-run team, a solid team, a together team, you're going to look better. Case in point, the team we played last night, the Phoenix Suns, Whitey, they got a kid named Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn was a key member of the Phoenix Suns, played along Booker, KD. He gets put with those jokers and he becomes a role player last night. And so, I'm looking at his numbers and 6 of 8, not bad. 18 points, not bad. But he came out on fire, hit 9 early points, and then we didn't hear from him again until the game was well out of hand. And they played him, 22 minutes left. Like, you look better when you play with better. Case in point, maybe I shouldn't go down this path. But let's say I'm walking down the street with Beyonce. People like, ooh, damn, Drapes, I know you look much better than I expect because I got better company. My girl Cowboy Carter I'm hanging with. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, of course you're going. Now, if you go play pickup ball at Lifetime in Folsom on Sunday mornings, you see Drapes playing, they like, man, Drapes, you trash, but you put me on the squad with some good people that know how to play the correct way. Of course you're going to look better.
Yeah, that's a good
analogies. I don't know if those hit properly, but
sure. Yeah, I think they worked. But I will say this, in addition to that, and certainly that's true, but you've got Nique Clifford, who was not on the G League team, and you've got Devin Carter, not on the G League team. Well, he was on a little bit. Isaiah Stevens had 4 assists. You've got, and Maxime Reynaud also. Those guys are handling the ball a lot. So I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm saying the players that are running the offense also deserve credit. Yeah, you got to have guys in the right spots, but you've got some guys that weren't here before, and they're doing a great job of setting up their teammates and running the offense.
Right. And give the players, and that's why I gave the coaches, a lot of credit also. They're just playing great team basketball, and hopefully this carries over into the regular season as well. But, here's the thing. Nique and Max, and when we say, when I say they look better, it doesn't mean that they still aren't talented. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to take away from who they are, or they're just looking good. It's almost like the Brock Purdy syndrome where I hit Brock Purdy, with the hate all the time. Well, he looks good just because he got CMC and all these guys. When it comes to the, our young Kings players, I'm not going to take away from their talent. Some of them shots that Nique was hitting yesterday, Whitey, come on, man. I don't care who you playing with. Yeah, those translate, man.
There's not much, if anything, in Summer League that brings you out of your seat. So I'm not saying that, but it was kind of a sit up in your seat a little bit like, ooh, did you see that? From Chris the Mom, what Scott did with the draft when we started with nothing was amazing. I had confidence because he picked Fox. We can't blame him for losing LaRavia because our hands were tied with what we could offer. Absolutely. There was nothing the Kings could have done. I just wish Jake LaRavia, and it's his right to handle it however he wants.
Right.
I just wish that he hadn't been so over the moon about how great Sacramento is, because, you looked at the numbers like, wow, the Kings can only offer him 5.1. It's going to be hard to keep him. But he says he loves it here so much. I started believing, Drapes, that there was a chance.
Right. Exactly. And that's the thing. He talked about his relationship with Doug and everything like that. He had us buying in, no doubt about it. And so we thought, so you're saying there's a chance, huh, Jake? When in reality, there probably wasn't a chance. You looking at the text line right now, Whitey, from the 916. So let me get this straight. If you perform poorly in Summer League, it's no biggie because it's just Summer League. But if you perform well, we're extrapolating that to success in the NBA. What are we doing here? Ain't nobody said, if I'm correct, yesterday I came on this station, on this show, and said we can look at the list of all-time great Summer League performances, and some guys aren't even in the league, didn't even sniff the league. It's not about the numbers to me. I don't know about you, Whitey. It's about the way they're moving, how they're playing. Nique did have 5 turnovers last night, got to clean that up, but I would much rather them play the way they're playing than go out there and struggle 100% in Summer League.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It doesn't mean they're going to be all-stars, but Devin Carter and Reno and Nique Clifford, they had to play well. We said that. I was like, these guys have to play well. Scott Perry came on with us and said, you really look for these guys to show that they're competitive and they should stand out a little bit, and they have. So that's a good thing. That doesn't mean, woo, get ready for a championship in Sacramento. But it's a good thing, so why not celebrate that if you're a fan? That's all.
Right. Why not enjoy it? You know what I mean? Because I best believe if these dudes were struggling, there would be people out there taking shots at them too. So if they're playing well, you got to give them their flowers, man. Why not enjoy that?
We saw that Friday and heard that Friday. There's a lot of people around town, taking a lot of shots at Devin Carter. So, that one bad game. And we'll see. Maybe I'll have another bad game. But you'd rather have the guys playing well. And also, Kings fans, a lot of us have been looking for something positive to hang our hat on. So, maybe some people are getting a little carried away with Summer League. That's okay. It's fun. That you're entitled to do that as a fan, especially when they're as dominant as they were last night.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, they're young players that are showing potential. You know what I mean? That's the nature of when you have young. It's like young Johnny dropping 25 in 6th grade basketball. You're like, it might be, or a young golfer shooting 68. It might be up on to something here. He might, we may have found something. And so that's what it is.
Yeah. Now, a few moments ago, Drapes, you mentioned Brock Purdy. Do you know that rookies report to training camp for the 49ers today?
I saw that.
Yeah.
Football is here, huh?
It is. So we'll look at what may all of a sudden be a position of concern for the 49ers when we come back. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys. And I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month total data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can in the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Fargo is only available on the smartphone versions of the Wells Fargo mobile app. Wells Fargo Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
This very minute at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, you'll find fun gaming on all 52 Top Tracer screens, where golfers and newbies enjoy the fun together. Compete against friends at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, or play 9 holes on the McKenzie Putting Course. Enjoy the summer-long free concert schedule, and visit the Hangout Eats and Dreams for wood-fired pizzas, burgers, ice cream, and more. Or relax with a beverage. It's happening all summer long at the Hagen Oaks Driving Range, nightly until midnight. Fulton Avenue at Business 80.
Search for your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
49er rookies report today, veterans report on the 22nd. So we'll look at what may be suddenly a position of concern for the 49ers. Some people guessing here in the chat, and people in the chat and on the text line also enthusiastic about what they're seeing from the Kings at Summer League. Drapes, of course, Drapes in Las Vegas. Vincent Ramirez, after seeing the Summer League team play, actually won a full youth movement. All the older vets trade for picks and expiring contracts. Let's do a true rebuild. A lot of people are so excited about the Summer League team. They want to see the Kings go young, all the way, Drapes.
Man, I ain't entertaining that mess. I'm not I've said my piece on that. It's one thing to look good in Summer League against, guys that won't even be in the NBA. It's another thing on opening night to have to guard Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green out there and perhaps lose by 30 on opening night. Like, pump the brakes. Why can't we, let the young guys play, get some minutes, and have veterans? Like, I fully expect Nique and Max to be in the rotation night in and night out.
Mm-hmm. This might be the chat comment of the day from Eric Q, Smoking Q's. He says, Snyder going to be really good this coming up season.
Who's Snyder?
Remember yesterday?
Ken. Oh, yeah, Ken Snyder.
Somebody called
Snyder, man. He'll retire his jersey. Yeah, Snyder.
Explain that he was actually talking about
Isaiah
Stevens.
Stevens. That's Snyder. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, just got word. Mike Brown's up there. Got a text. Mike Brown's in the building watching Knicks Summer League right now. Need to go chop it up with Mike here in a sec.
Dude,
yeah,
let's get him on the show.
Dude, I'm in the bowels of the arena here. Like, I'd have to walk upstairs, go chop it up, tell him, Mike, can you come downstairs? He ain't doing that, man.
Hey, Drapes, maybe about 20, 30 minutes ago or whatever, I was looking up, watching the Summer League here as you guys are talking. Yeah. And the line, I meant to ask you, is there somebody who's playing, like getting ready to play tonight? Because they just showed it again, literally. The line, the escalators on the outside, they're literally wrapped around the front of the building, then the snakes back around and going down the stairs. Is the Lakers playing tonight or something?
Nah, Lakers off tonight and tomorrow. I think people are fired up. You got Sixers, Washington, VJ Edgecombe, but also later tonight you got the Pelicans, Jeremiah Fears in them playing, and so I don't know, but Sixers, Washington, you got Trey Johnson also playing, so that's a big time matchup, So it's the nightcap, the night games that people are excited about.
Yeah, one groovy Greg M says Nique and Maxime look like really solid young building blocks. I love the tenacity that Carter plays with. I just hope he can carve out a role on the Kings guard-heavy roster. He can be a contributor. I think he could be too, Drapes. I don't think we know for sure what he is, but we should not turn our backs on his potential upside just because he was injured last year and couldn't find regular minutes.
How about this, Whitey? I just thought of a comparison for Devin Carter. Could he be and maybe eventually he's better than this guy, our Jose Alvarado? Not saying as, but maybe even better. The pest defensively comes in, changes the game, can handle the rock, and Alvarado doesn't play the natural point guard role, but he can handle the ball. He can make plays with the ball. Could he be our version of, we need some energy, Devin, we coming to you first, or something like that? Like, because here's the problem with it is, who's he going to take minutes? But he does something that maybe nobody else on this team does. Keon plays great defense, but I feel like Devin Carter's more of a pest, if you will, defensively.
Yes. If he just had a little more size, but you knew about that. But if he can actually shoot the way he's been shooting at Summer League, if that's not a mirage, I think he's going to be a valuable asset, hopefully for the Kings. But if not for the Kings, for somebody, that is, like we've said, it's not the prettiest shot to look at, but man, he's on it right now. Nothing but twine, Drapes.
You're all in on the Devin Carter train, huh? You're all in.
I'm just in on, let's see what we have here before everybody's ready to trade him for Kuminga or something. Let's just see, give him a chance to show what he can do a little bit. That's all.
I hear you. Yeah, and that's one of the issues, right, with the Kings. Like Keegan, I want to see Keegan get more touches. I want to see Devin play more. I don't want to go a full youth movement like, Victor Ramirez said on the YouTube chat, but how are these guys going to develop, if only, Devin only gets 8 minutes a night or something like that. I want to see him out there 20 minutes a night with DeMar, with Zach, and so maybe that's why, you hear all the rumors about a possible Malik trade and everything. Maybe the organization sees, man, we got a log jam at guard. We got to create some space so these guys can get some minutes.
I remember Jerry telling us one time, he asked Jerry West, how do you scout players? And Jerry West said, first you look at what guys can do well. That's the first thing you look at. And I think so often, as fans, we're looking at guys, especially if we have any bias against them, and you're looking for what they can't do. Oh, this guy can't be that. He can't be that. Look at things they can do. Look at Devin Carter in Summer League. Look at all the things he's showing he can do. So just be open to the possibilities that he's going to live up to the promise that he had when the Kings drafted him. That's all I'm saying. Just keep an open mind. You may have something.
Nah, but you don't believe that, Whitey. You come on now. How many players have we brought up, and first thing you do is look at Basketball Reference? This guy can't shoot. Well, what does he do? What can he do?
I've never done that. And by the way, you check Basketball Reference at least as often as I do.
I do.
It's the same as the box score. You're just looking at box scores. I watch you on TV, and you're like, I gotta have my box score. I can't go on without my box score.
Dude, I got 5 tabs from Basketball Reference open up right now on my computer. So you're right.
All right. Switching gears a little bit here to the NFL. Is it possible, Jay? Us, Jay, because Drapes is so pro Eagles.
It's hard to talk Niners. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, but I understand. Is it possible, Jay, that right now with the rookies reporting to camp, that wide receiver is a position of concern for the 49ers?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Let's keep it a buck. Absolutely. We talked about it yesterday with Juwan Jennings.
Yeah.
Asking.
Yeah. Ayuk is hurt.
Picking.
Supposedly coming along, but he's hurt.
Prodding.
Demarcus Robinson, right, is probably going to be suspended.
Veteran.
Yeah, he's probably going to be suspended to start the year.
First 4 games.
Tricky Ricky P, as you like to call him. I mean, maybe there's something there. Juwan Jennings unhappy. So all of a sudden at the wideout position, which is a rather important position for Kyle Shanahan, you've got some issues there.
You got some unknowns. And when you have unknowns, you have issues. Excuse me, I'm struggling. I'm behind the.
You all right there, Jay? All right.
Yeah, I have no clue.
He gets choked up talking about
I am, man. I'm on my Juwan Jennings movement right now. I'm going to start asking for more money just to talk about them. They just have some unknown, some unproven commodities. And when you don't have that, an analogy, when you go somewhere and you don't know what you're working with, how many times have you guys always said, I'd rather know what I'm walking into than rather not, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the 49ers. They're heading into a party with a significant other that they've probably met, and I'm going to meet the parents and the family for the barbecue to hang out after in the backyard, and I don't really know what to expect. And I'm hoping Pop's got some love for me. I'm hoping Mom's, don't see me as taking her sweet little girl away from her, so you're getting all those different type of emotions and attitudes. And I think that's where the 49ers are at. Jacob Cowing, do you know what he is, Whitey?
He's fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Drapes, I mean, have you seen Jacob Cowing perform?
No, that's the thing.
No, I mean, we really don't know what Tricky Ricky P is. Tricky Ricky P is. So
he may be the key to this, huh?
I think so. He was the key last year, coming into last year, hence Brandon Ayuk.
You must
guys
be
think
all this, Drapes. You must.
No. I mean, let's have a real discussion. First of all, do the Niners need a number 1 receiver? And number 2, do they have anyone that you are confident fits the bill of a number 1 wide receiver?
That I think is where we disagree, because I'm higher on assuming he's healthy Ayuk, and I know Jay has always said not that he's not good, but that haven't you said, Jay, to you he's not really a real number 1?
No, he's a 2.
Yeah,
for me.
And I think he can be especially in this offense. To me, he's a 1 when he's healthy, but we don't know when that's going to be.
Yeah, that's a big question mark, and is Juwan Jennings a number 2, or is he really on a really good team, a number 3?
Well, when the 49ers were really good, what was it? He was a number 3, right? He was a damn good number 3, but that's what he was. When in the glory days, when you had Ayuk and you had Debo and you had almost too many wide receivers. Seems like so long ago.
I think Jennings is on a proven situation for me. I could see him as a number 2. I think he hasn't gotten the opportunity to be a number 2 wide receiver. We're going to find out very quickly. He's a good number 1 or 2 in a short period of time, intermediate, a game, a half, a quarter, 2 games, that type of stretch. I'm not sure he can be a number 2 for the whole season, but I'm interested to find that out.
Yeah. I know Drapes always likes to look at Pro Football Reference.
Of course.
.com. But, and his numbers were really good last year. But if you remember, he had some great catches too. He made some amazing catches that aren't really reflected in the numbers. And then, as we just said yesterday, just the 1 drop. So I would be open, Drapes. I think I would be open if I'm the Niners, like, okay, well, how much money do you want? I think I might be willing to at least start that conversation with him.
Hey.
With Juwan, 1,000%. What do you mean? Jay, dang. I mean, I'm not giving him 25, but damn, 7.5 for what he is on this team right now. Come on, man. He's worth more than that. I'm not saying he's worth 20, 25, but give him 15 million, give him 18 million a year if you believe he's that guy going forward. You know, that's the question. You drafted all these wide receivers. You know, you mentioned Cowie. You mentioned Tricky Ricky P out there. You got Jordan Watkins from your fourth round pick. Like, you view Jawan Jennings as your future. That's a big question if you're the Niners.
Well, but that's why I say he's on a. Don't you guys think he's on a prove it movement right now?
Yeah, definitely. If he's playing for a contract,
for sure.
But he's trying to play hardball with me a little bit, and he's holding it over me. So I gotta, do I want to push that, or do I want to get this resolved and get everything positive like I thought it was heading into camp?
Well, I totally understand it, and the visuals look the optics look a little worse because of the last 2, 3, 4 years for the 49ers heading into the offseason. Debo, Bosa, Jimmy G than last year, Purdy, understandable. But in reality, for 4 games, he's shown and proven that he's solid. Throughout the season, he's shown that he's a great number 3, a top flight number 3. But coming into this season, he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver if Brandon Ayuk doesn't play day 1. Now we're going to see what it really boils down to. Was
he number 1 last year, though, Jay?
Nah, because the season was done and over with by the time he really needed to become the number 1 guy. Like it was all for nothing. Right now, we're playing for the whole ball of wax. We're heading towards the Super Bowl. That's how every team is operating as of right now and in September. So, yeah, he's going to be the number 1 wide receiver. We'll see when he goes up against Witherspoon. We'll see when he goes up against, guys like that.
Yeah, more on that when we come right back, and see if you can guess which quarterback said, I need to really turn it on this year. We're back with that. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Ken Waldachuk out with that left elbow sprain. We'll have another AAA Las Vegas rehab coming up, and his expected return is mid-July. Jose Leclerc out with that right lat strain is expected to return in the second half as he is playing catch 3 times a week, even though the A's expect a long recovery process. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. It's Alan Stiles here. You injured at work? Call Downtown. DTLA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they have won over $500 million in settlements. DTLA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay $0 up front. Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives are spent sleeping? Hi, this is Franklin Rosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise Guys at Bell Brothers Plumbing and Air Conditioning. Is your AC on the fritz? Call Bell Brothers. Looking to replace your old unit with a 0% financing and no payments for 12 months on approved credit? Call Bell Brothers. We're fast, reliable, and respect your time by showing up when we say we will. The price we quote is the price you pay. We are the No Surprise Guys. Call today to get a free estimate on a new HVAC system, or simply schedule your $87 AC Precision tune-up to keep your system running smoothly. With more technicians, more trucks, and more experience, we get the job done right the first time. No surprises. Our technicians are all background checked, drug tested, and will leave the work area cleaner than they found it. Don't wait. Call Bell Brothers today or book online at nosurpriseguys.com. That's nosurpriseguys.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Before we get back to the 49ers and the National Football League, a couple more comments here on the Kings or Strapes in Las Vegas for Summer League. Jay and Whitey in studio. And the Kings tomorrow taking on Cleveland, and that's a 12:30 game, Drapes?
Yeah, 12:30 tomorrow. Cleveland, first game on ESPN2 tomorrow.
Okay, all right. From UPS Chris, definitely won't boo Jake, but Austin Reeves, on the other hand, is going to get all the boos. LOL.
Yeah, rightfully so. Stole our guy from us.
And Jay never liked Austin Reeves to begin with.
Nah, we definitely
paid though, Jay.
From the 916. So watching Nique last night go at a good defensive player and Dunn made me feel better. You know, we're fans. We're looking for any positive signs we can. Top of the hour, we'll look at, what, if anything, from the Summer League we'll be able to translate to when the games really start. Just a lot of good signs right now and a feel good vibe to the Kings. And for a franchise, frankly, has been in need in some of that.
Right. 4 months ago, we were talking about what does our future look like? Where's the hope? Now we got two rookies that look solid. We got a Keegan Murray, and we got some draft picks coming up. And so I can see a path for the Kings here. You know what I mean? Scott Perry seems like he's trying to clear some cap space going forward too. And so, it's a flicker. It's not a full-blown light at the end of the tunnel, but you could see, all right, another move here or there, give it a couple of years, and we could be, in a spot where we're contending in the West.
Mm-hmm. I believe Scott Perry did address last night when he was on TV with Mark Jones. He talked about Devin Carter as a point guard. We'll see if we can't get to some of that here top of the hour, because that is kind of an ongoing question we've been having for the last week. Does he need to be a point guard? Is he really a point guard? Is he a lead guard? Is he going to have to be a point guard to stick in the NBA? So we'll hear what Scott Perry had to say about that. And I don't know, as far as we know, Drapes, we think the Kings are still looking for another backup point guard potentially, right?
Are they?
Well, potentially. We've heard him linked to a lot, and I'm not going to go through the names again. You're saying that because they have so many guards right now, there's no room at the end?
Right. I think, the Westbrook talk, the Chris Paul talk. I think, like I said.
Any other names you've heard today besides those two?
No, I haven't heard. My boy Campaign, his group hasn't hit me up with any updates or anything like that. But you have to make moves in the backcourt. And so I don't think they're outright looking for a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, honestly, you're willing to move Malik or any of your other guards just to bring in a Chris Paul, just to bring in a backup point guard. Now, if it's part of the bigger, like a Kuminga move, then you're moving off a guard probably. Now you need a guard to replace that. I could see that. But, just out there outright looking for a backup point guard right now, I can't see it. I just can't see it. I could be wrong. I just can't see it, though.
Okay. And we've already put to bed all the talk of a certain former number one pick who's from Australia coming here, right? We've put that to bed. We don't need
there's nothing to that, right? Like there's no substance, no meat on that bone right there. You know,
Doesn't appear to.
yeah, it doesn't appear to be.
Yeah. All right. Back to the NFL. We were just talking about the 49ers and the receiver situation for them. And I ran across this looking at, NFL stuff. We have camps, rookie camp. Rookies are reporting today. Can you guess what quarterback in the NFL said this? I feel like this is like getting into my prime. This was an interview that was released Monday. I got a lot of good years left ahead of me, and I need to really turn it on. And I think what we've built around me and what they've done this offseason has been a great start, end quote. You want to take a whack at that? Not to put you on the spot.
Great start.
Yeah, I got a lot of good years left ahead of me. I need to really turn it on. To me, that's the meat of this quote.
That doesn't seem like a Joe Burrow kind of quote. I don't think Burrow would. Nah,
Got
who you
the
got?
conference. Yeah.
I'm stumped.
It's Trevor Lawrence.
Ooh.
And I agree with him, don't you?
Ooh, yes. I totally forgot about Trevor Lawrence. I'm like, who needs to really step up and turn it on?
Mhm.
Probably him more than anybody out there, right?
I think so. Yeah. I feel like this is like getting into my prime. I got a lot of good years left ahead of me. I need to really turn it on. You could say that about a lot of quarterbacks, but I think he's the one who lays the largest claim to really be in a position where he has to turn it on. I think you could say that maybe about Dak, although Dak has put up numbers that Trevor Lawrence can only dream of. I know you guys are saying at some point Justin Herbert has to win some postseason games, but Trevor Lawrence has been is that all there is guy now for almost his whole career.
And going back to that quote, Whitey, he said the pieces around him, right? Like that to me, that's been the excuse that he could use. Well, he's playing for a franchise, they don't have pieces. Now he's not using that as an excuse. If he's not going to use it as an excuse, why should I? So yeah, you need to step up, Trevor Lawrence. I was a big Trevor Lawrence fan coming out of Clemson, man. I thought he was going to be the real deal, and he just hasn't delivered yet.
Right. What about Russ? You think Russ has something to prove this year, or is he pretty much proven, Russell Wilson, everything that we pretty much know what his legacy is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, he had the opportunity in Pittsburgh to prove it, with a team that could have contended, out there in the AFC. I think his days of proving things are we pretty much know what Russell Wilson is right now.
Yeah, he's got to prove that he's more than just a guy at the end of his career is bouncing from team to team. Because after 10 years in Seattle, 2 in Denver, 1 in Pittsburgh, now he's on to the Giants. So he's got to find some steady ground again if he wants us to take him seriously. He's 36 now too, and he has had a pretty good career no matter what happens from here.
Yeah, he has, man. Is he a Hall of Famer though?
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh. Jay, you think so?
I need to pull up his numbers, but he's on the patio for sure.
Mm-hmm.
He's knocking on the door.
Won a Super Bowl. I know he should have won 2, but that's
should have won 2.
I don't know. I need to look at his numbers. Let me pull his numbers up. See, if he's got some key yards and touchdowns and how many times has been to the Pro Bowl and so on and so forth.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-time Pro Bowler.
Damn.
That's only led the league in touchdown passes one time with 34. If you were going to push back and go, no, he's not, I would understand that. But to me, my knee jerk is, he's a Hall of Famer.
46,000 passing yards. Yeah.
But I think I may be in the minority. To me, Eli Manning is an easy Hall of Famer.
He's
2-time Super Bowl winner. That gets him in.
Yeah.
He's going to get in, but he wouldn't be a Hall of Famer for me.
He's not in the Hall of J?
No. He's
Eli Manning or Russell Wilson. Who you taking?
Russell Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah.
But neither one of them would be in the Hall of J?
No, I think I'm putting Russell in. I wouldn't put Eli in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the highest level, at the highest peak, Russell Wilson was way more impactful quarterback than Eli Manning. Mm-hmm. And I say way more, meaning way more. I think Eli Manning is a product of his environment, where Russell Wilson created his environment.
Ooh, Eli, 16 years, 57,000 passing yards.
He played 20 years, man.
I'm just saying, dude, 57. But he's only been to 4 Pro Bowls. You're right, Jay. Only been to 4
Look
Pro
at
Bowls.
look at his TDs compared to turnovers, interceptions. Look at his accuracy, like his passer rating.
Win-loss record
his win-loss record is atrocious comparing him to Hall of Famers. Of course.
Yes.
He's success. Have you guys seen this on Twitter, on X? There is an account called the Hall of Very Good for baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever is orchestrating this account, somebody really has a good idea. They're literally nominating, players that were not Hall of Famers, but man, they had, a 5-year run, or they played for 12 years and for 5 years, they were great, just injury or whatever the case may be. But they're actually going to the players, some kind of form or fashion, some people tagging these players or whatever, and the players are accepting the award.
Oh, really?
The introduction. Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
All right, when we come back, we'll hear what Scott Perry had to say about Devin Carter's potential NBA future as a point guard. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This summer with Kohl's, you can rack up the compliments. Like, where'd you get that dress? Tell me all your makeup secrets. Or, ooh, my husband needs that polo in every color. Because Kohl's has what you need. Cute dresses, Sephora essentials, stylish polos, comfy kids clothes, and more. Plus, take 20% off some of your faves. Yep, cue the compliments with Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 20th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Shooting lower scores isn't always about changing your swing or equipment. Sometimes it's as simple as changing how you hit certain shots on the course. Molly Braid, a Golf Digest Best Young Teacher, sees a classic mistake on uphill chips. Players will grab a sand wedge thinking the high-lofted club will get the ball in the air, but instead, the ball pops too high and comes up short. Use a club with less loft, Braid says. Grab your pitching wedge, 9-iron, or even 8-iron, depending on how far you hit the ball. Set up with your hips and shoulders in line with the hill. The handle is going to come back, and there will be added loft to the club, so it will have more height, like a sand wedge. Your pitching wedge and your 9-iron don't have as much loft as your sand wedge, but when you're hitting from a steep uphill lie, your pitching wedge is going to produce sand wedge-like results. You'll get that high trajectory up and over the hill to land soft on the green. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash,
Vincent Mason, and Averyana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo.
Sponsored by Trex Racing Cage, Chicken Fingers, and Naturewood Home Furnishings. Tickets at catpfest.com.
Whitey here, and I want to remind you, not all grills are created equal. The Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers are built different, built better, and built to last, with features other grills can't match, complete with a lifetime warranty. It's a great time to find out for yourself because Napoleon's Pro Summer Blast is on right now. Save up to $400 today on a Napoleon stainless steel Pro Grill. Become the envy of your neighborhood. Offer ends July 31st, 2025. Visit your local Green Acres Nursery and Supply and get grilling today on your new Napoleon Prestige Pro Grill. Napoleon stainless steel grills, simply the best.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yeah, Kings fans are sure feeling good about the Summer League team. Maybe a little too good. This is from Chris on X Drapes. Drapes with us, of course, from Summer League in Vegas. Can I please have these rookies and developing players for 82 games instead of getting the 10th seed and losing to the Mavs in the play-in to get no picks for the most stacked class? And I know we've talked about that, and I know you're not answering any of those questions, but we're just seeing that a lot. That's where a lot of Kings fans are right now. Bottom line is they're feeling good about the young players.
Right. Nobody's hanging a banner or nothing like that, you know. Nobody's saying we conference finals contenders or anything like that, but this is encouraging, you know. And think about it. I'd rather like to rather have the guys look like this than come out look like fish out of water, and just don't know their way around a basketball hoop. What's wrong with that?
But people are getting a little carried away with this seems great. They should play these guys. This would be great. It'd be so much more fun to just see these young guys play 82 games. It probably wouldn't be a lot of fun. Nothing against them, but it probably would not be that much fun.
It wouldn't be that much fun. And, you know, we'd be 3-23, you know, by January 1. And you know, it'd be people would start tuning out. And we've been there before, Kings fans. Let's keep it real. Around in Sacramento, historically, by January, we're looking at the top lottery picks and draft picks and things like that. We don't care about what the team is doing anymore. And so, you know, I think, too, and we don't talk enough about just trying to build a culture of winning, whether it's Summer League, in-season tournament, you play to win the game. And as an organization, that's the most important thing. You know, look at the Utah Jazz. They still look like, you know, and I know Ace Bailey hasn't, you know, played much out here in Vegas and everything, but they still look like they don't have a clue what they're going to do, you know? And so I'd rather us, you know what, try to win as much as possible. Let the ping pong balls fall where they may.
Given where Scott Perry came into this, that is, given the situation that he came into, we've got a lot of veterans and you need to get the roster younger. He's done a great job of assembling now some younger players, but I think it gives the Kings options. And I think that's one reason right now why we haven't heard for sure what the plan is other than to be competitive, sustained competitiveness. Because I really believe that right now you've got a chance to start the season. You've got some veterans that have some skins on the wall, and it's possible this all comes together and you're off to a great start this year. I mean, we could quibble about, oh, that won't happen. It could happen. If it does, then things look a lot different than they do if things go sideways and you're at the All-Star break and the team is not playing well. My point is I don't think we'll know which way the Kings go for sure as far as next year in the draft until we see how this team plays. I think they have the flexibility to pivot if they need to. They get off to a great start. Then, yes, see how maybe you get into the second round of the playoffs. That'd be great. If they don't, then obviously you deal with that when the time comes, but you have options at that point. You don't, even if you were going to tear it down, which we know they don't want to, you wouldn't have to do that now, Drapes.
Right. There's still time, you know, to, like you said, you know, and I look at the contracts, you know, especially DeMar and Zach. DeMar You got this year and then a partial, guarantee for next year.
Yeah.
Zach, after this season, he got the player option, which he might pick up. He probably will pick up. But, if you do want to pivot, you're talking in a couple of years, this team looking entirely different. And
Right.
so,
Right.
it's not like, we're married to, Zach and DeMar in contracts for the next 4 to 5 years. If it doesn't work out, to Whitey's point, there's still some other pathways and avenues out of this.
Yeah, that's the smart way forward, in my opinion. But speaking of Scott Perry, last night, of course, he was doing an interview. No one was paying attention to him because Kyle Draper and the High Flyer and Nick, Kyle's son, they were behind Scott Perry when he was talking. I'm sure everybody around the country was like, oh, that's Kyle Draper. Look at that.
Yeah.
Right in here, a lot of that. I noticed that you had one seat between you and Nick was on his, I think he was playing a video game or something. He didn't sit next to you. He gave you that extra seat, that extra space.
Well, he was sitting next to me, and then after a while, I had to tell him, dude, all right, move over, because my knees were like all folded up. I got big High Flyer on one side, Nick up on me like plastic on grandma's couch on the other side, and so I was like, bro, you're gonna have to scoot over one. I love you to death, but give your dad some room so I could adjust and turn my legs, because my knees were hitting up against the seat in front of me, man.
Oh yeah,
nice. That's never fun.
Devin Carter had another fine game. And we know that he's been working on playing point guard. He was working on that before the Kings even left for Summer League. And last night during the game, Scott Perry was talking to Mark Jones, and he talked about Devin Carter's growth and potential as a point guard.
Hey, Devin Carter just knocked down a logo three. Let's talk about his development at the point guard position, which is something, admittedly, really something new for him, Scott.
There's no question about it. Obviously, this is my first opportunity to be around Devin. Coming in, watched him on film when I was taking the job. He can defend the position. He has good length. He moves his feet. That's his comfort zone right now. He is evolving as a guy, being able to play that position on the offensive end. He had a big game here the other night. We had 30 points where he shot the ball well, which hadn't been his strength to this point. The key for him, just like so many other players, is how's he going to dedicate himself to get better each and every day. And that's been my challenge to him when I talk with him. That's going to be very important. You got to work on your game. You got to get in elite shape so that you can do the things that you're capable of doing on the court right now.
That's very interesting. And the thing that stood out to me right away is he says he's been making shots, which he hadn't really been doing. So it is apparent that the Kings are letting Devin Carter know, like, yeah, we need to see more from you, and we're giving you the opportunity to do that. But whether you do or not ultimately is up to you, Drapes.
Yeah, and, he got to make shots, no doubt about it. You got to be a threat out there offensively. And, the one thing, and I mentioned this yesterday, I think what's a challenge for Devin, especially when you have a new regime taking over and you're trying to prove yourself, it's, all right, how do I do what they want me to do, run the offense, get others involved, but also play my game? And I think that's one thing he's trying to figure out. And I thought, the last couple of games, he's had the green light. And, other than the over penetration, and holding the ball in the paint, I thought he's been fantastic. And so the question is that's easy to do, though, when you're playing with Nique and Max and Mason. Can you do the same thing when DeMar and Zach are out there? That's going to be the key for him, I think. Or are you just going to be a fly on the wall, just a flower standing over there in the corner, not moving around? Like, can you still play your game in the concept and the construct along with these veterans out there for Devin?
Yeah, and it's apparent that, as we've discussed, he's playing point guard the last 3 games, but he's not playing it the last 2 games like he did in that first game. Right. And I don't know if he decided, look, I got to be me, or I just got to approach it differently. Maybe he just had a bad game, but he's playing much more aggressively while playing point guard the last 2 games than he was in that first game, where he looked like he wasn't quite sure what he's supposed to be doing, and he wasn't shooting well.
Well, and here's the thing. I thought that first game he was trying a little too much to be like Chris Paul, like to be a floor general, if you will.
Yeah.
What I saw these last 2 games is him looking more like a scoring point guard out there. more Dame Lillard-ish. Now I'm not saying he's Dame Lillard, but it's all right. I can get you involved and still get mine too.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I, felt like, and I feel like his shot selection has been better. Other than, like I said, the over penetration out there, and the second game of summer league when he got cooking, his eyes got wide, and it was like, give me the ball, and that's a great sign of a point guard too. I don't need him to be Lonzo Ball out there. Like, I want him to be Devin Carter. Like, one of the reasons you were drafted, not only obviously with your defense, your presence, but your ability to say, you know what, I'm gonna put the team on my shoulders. I'm gonna do whatever it takes. And so I don't want him to be just the fifth starter or the fifth guy on the floor. Dude, do you? You know what I mean? And I think, when you talk to Doug Christie, I'm pretty sure Doug will encourage him and empower him to do just that.
Make no mistake, what they're asking him to do, and they're asking him very clearly and directly, is very difficult. You go back and you look at the scouting reports on Devin Carter before he was drafted, and they'll all say, he's a combo guard. He can play some point, but he's not really a point guard.
Right.
He can play some point. And as Scott Perry says, he's playing point guard. He's not really used to that. It's very difficult. I have a hard time thinking of guys. Maybe you can think of some, Drapes. They must be out there. But guys who've come into the NBA and been converted to a point guard and been successful at it, it's really hard. And you can see with Devin Carter, the tricky part for him, it appears to me, is just the mentality of, I got the ball, and his natural inclination is attack. And you can see in the first game, well, I'm the point guard now, I can't do that. And as you said, if you're not if you're overthinking the way your very basic approach to the game, you're not going to have success. So the last two games, he's found more success attacking with the ball, but still being the guy who runs the offense. He's making progress, but it's really, really difficult.
Yeah, really hard. And, you tripping on the chat, can he still play his game when he's playing against NBA players is the key. I think, like I said, the biggest key is, can he still play his game with NBA players, with the Zachs out there, with the DeMars? That's what I'm worried about when it comes to Devin. It's, and the same thing with Keegan too. Dog, you're a lottery pick. You're allowed to eat also. You know what I mean? We got enough food on the table, enough food at Thanksgiving where you can get an extra roll here or there. You know what I mean? You get another slice of ham or something like that. It ain't got to be all of the DeMar and Zach show out there like we saw last season.
I could see potentially Devin Carter as a backup point guard where, depending on who's on the floor with him, where, okay, yeah, you're the point guard, but we want you to attack. And again, it depends on, if he's in there on the floor with, say, Keon or something. Keon's a good shooter, but he's not an offense first guy. So I think there's potential there, but make no mistake. And I can't think, it's difficult. And I can't think of, Drapes, I know you see them try that with smaller guys a lot. Oh, we're going to make him a point guard. And it usually does not work.
Right. It's hard. Remember, Greg Popovich tried Sohan at point guard.
Yeah.
That was abject, that was an abject failure out there, And, to your last point about, let's say he's on the floor with Keon. Devin Carter, to me, and I said this before and I'll reiterate it, he can be aggressive, but you have to be aggressive and also know when to get off the ball, know when to pass. Like, you can't just have a tunnel vision, I'm going to score this time. It's like, read and react, young fella. When you get in that lane, when you drive and penetrate, spray it out, as Mike Brown used to always say. I think that's where, to me, the growth of a point guard for him comes in. Because to your point, first game, he's like, oh, I can't be aggressive. I can't shoot. I got to play, point guard. Then it's like, well, now you're being too aggressive, Devin. Like, how do you find that balance? And I think that's what that's that growth that comes for him.
One of the big reasons why he moved up into the lottery when he was drafted is because his offensive game his last year at Providence just improved by leaps and bounds. And a lot of that was how well he shot the ball. So, as Scott Perry said he said last night, he hasn't really been a great shooter. If because he's healthier now, if he's able to consistently make his outside shot, which he's done the last two games, I think that changes the whole equation for him. He's still got to prove he can do it. But if he can, I mean, a guy who defends as well as he does and plays as hard as he does, if he can consistently make the outside shots, there's going to be a role for him somewhere, Draves. A guy like that can
Right.
play.
No, 100%. I mean, this is a guy that can pick up 94 feet full court.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can create havoc out there defensively. And to your point, if he can knock down some shots, contribute offensively, I think you're right. He's got to find a way in the rotation. Here's the thing. When it comes to Keon Ellis, we said the same thing. He's got to knock, and Keon has proven he can knock down shots. Now that's why he got more minutes. Same thing with Devin Carter. If you can knock down shots and create havoc defensively, you're going to have a spot out there.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you about some of the things going on in Summer League that to me are surprising. You're there, and maybe these are not as surprising to those of you who are there. But the first thing we talked about already, this is a really good story. Victor Oladipo is planning a comeback. Worked out for teams yesterday. Looks good at age 33. Says, I'm ready to help any team in any way. They need help to win. I didn't know what happened to Victor Oladipo.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for him, but a guy at 33 with an injury history, we'll see. But good for him.
No, exactly. I mean, 33 injury history, but talking about a former lottery pick, former All-Star and everything like that. And, he's giving his dream one more shot. I mean, there's a number of guys out there, our boy IT, the pizza guy, Isaiah Thomas, who we'd like to get one more shot, one more look at, one more go around. And so I don't know where Victor Oladipo goes. Like, what kind of team would he fit? Is it the Lakers? Is it Clippers? Something like that, coming off the bench. Like somebody, for somebody that may be a contender, I wouldn't bring him on on a young team. Wouldn't give him minutes over young players. So I don't know where he necessarily fits.
Yeah. Would he be a guy that somebody might send to the G League just to show that he can stay healthy enough to play, over an extended period? I know that's not really what the G League is for, but would that be a fit for him maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, why not? And especially to prove himself too. You know what I mean? Like, go out there, ball out, dominate maybe, and then you get, an opportunity. I'm thinking like, and I know he played for Miami before, like, could a team like Miami use him? Who's another team? Maybe Boston off the bench. You know what I mean? They're talking about Dame Lillard. What about, taking a flyer on Oladipo on this bridge year? See what you got, what he got left in.
Yeah. Wasn't he part of the big three in Indiana with Domas and Brogdon? Wasn't that the big three? And they were a playoff team every year. They just got knocked out in the first round.
Was it big three? Are we calling that a big three now?
Well, it was their big three. Wasn't it their three best players?
Yeah. All right. I
team's got a big three then.
No, now I'm like, yeah. Brooklyn got a big three now, I guess, too. Jeez, we call it. Yeah, no, he
well, he was a really high pick, wasn't he? He was a really high pick.
Number 2, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's number 2. I don't remember that draft. Who went before him, but 33 years old, 2013 NBA draft. I mean, this dude was high coming out of Indiana. Oh, he went behind Anthony Bennett. Wow. Oh, man. Why did he get drafted? Dude, that's a slap in the face. Drafted behind Anthony Bennett. I mean, look at this guy's numbers, though, Whitey. I'm looking at Victor Oladipo's numbers here. He's a career 17-point per game scorer, but his career high 23.1, 18.8, 19.8, 20, 21. Like, he's put up some numbers, man. But, man, I'm looking at his games played since 2020-21 season, 33, 42, and 12, or in 8. So, he's played one full season over the last 5. Of injuries. Ooh, that's tough.
Got to be the biggest question. You can be healthy, but we don't know if your knee can hold up. I hope it does. Another surprise, I don't know if you've seen him play, Drapes. I haven't seen him, but Yang Hansen's skill level is impressing execs and coaches.
Yes.
We're stunned at Portland drafting him, 16? But apparently he looks really good so far.
Dude, I didn't know a whole lot about Yang coming into, the draft and everything like that. But the dude is playmaking. I mean, he's out there looking like prime Arvydas Sabonis out there. With all right, maybe that's giving him a little too much love, but
the Chinese Arvydas Sabonis. Yeah,
dude, seriously, I had no idea. What you guys say?
In person yet?
No, I haven't seen him in person yet. I haven't seen him in person yet. He plays tonight at 7. So me and Nick might check him out. You know, I don't know if you know, Jay, but I've been in this room for 4 hours every day while games are going on. So your boy ain't able to see a whole lot. Just letting you know. So I'm holding it down here.
And then third and finally, I don't know what to make of this. Talent evaluators, and this is a lot. This is a lot of talent evaluators. It's not just, you know, some guy with Bleach Report or whatever. Talent evaluators say the 26 draft class looks great, but the 27 draft class looks terrible. I don't know.
Really?
Yes, that's the word. There are some that are, and you know, things can change. That's why I don't understand how they can be so sure of this. But there's some, I read somewhere, somebody said there may not be a single all-star in the 2027 draft class. And I'm like, how can they even know that already? They talk to college coaches that are recruiting kids. 2027 doesn't look like a great class.
I don't put no stock into stuff like that because last year's draft class wasn't supposed to be good. And there's some players that came out of there. Like Alex Sarr's a player. Reese O'Shea has shown some promise. Like, you know, and so, no, I'm not buying it. There's always a few. Every draft got a handful. You just got to get the right one.
So was that a junior in high school right now?
I guess.
Going into junior year.
It seems like when the season starts in October, you look at, these are the top guys coming out in the next NBA draft. It changes so much from October to June. I don't know how people can be saying, 2027, there's nobody good in there. It's so far away. I don't understand how they can make that, reach that conclusion already. I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the story. I don't know if that's the one you saw on Real GM. 2027 NBA draft class currently projected to be weak in talent.
Yeah.
Jonathan Givony. I'm gonna have to talk. I saw Jonathan yesterday. We should have had him on and talk about that. Yeah. Now, which pick is that? The one where do we give away that pick or no?
27
or is it next year? Maybe.
Yeah, remember. Right. Yeah, it might be because you'll be a senior. Yeah, so I'm looking. Yeah, I think it is the 27. I think it is the 27, not the 26.
Right, because we had 2 picks during that draft, and we traded one to move up into this year's draft.
Yeah. How many times between now and the actual draft are we going to also hear this is the greatest draft ever, 2027? You know, it just goes. It goes
right,
up.
Right. So somebody will step up. Yeah. I'm with you.
So that's
there's always
a junior going to their senior year right now, which would then be a freshman next year in college and then be ready in 27. So you're going to, what's Nick going to be, a junior?
Yeah, he's going 1 year ahead of Nick, right?
In front of him, would be the 27 draft class.
They start scouting early.
Man, they hunting, brother.
Yeah. Nobody there. There's not going to slim pickings in 2027. When we come back, wouldn't it be great to slide from the NBA West to the NBA East? Someone may get to do just that, and soon we'll explain next on Sacktown Sports.
Hey, Daydreamer. Did we catch you thinking about your dreams? With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you plan for them. So let's imagine your biggest dream. Not the easy one, the one behind it. The one you work towards every day and every night. Can you see it? Then we can help you plan for it. Ready to start planning for your dreams? You can at wellsfargo.com/getpremier.
You know it all too well if you've lived here for long. The summer here can just smack you sideways, especially if your AC is not functioning at a high level. As I've told you, we had the opposite problem over the winter. The system went down, and it was very, very cold, but Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating saved the day. Let them save you from unnecessary summer misery. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, reliable, trustworthy. They do great work. They've won awards for their service. Check the reviews at leesair.com. Find out about their $99 HVAC tune-up service. They offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee, 4.8 stars on Google. That's why you want to choose Lee's when there are so many choices available to you. You can trust them with installation, repair of your AC, furnace, and water heater, plus residential and commercial plumbing repair, commercial HVAC services too. And as I say, find out more at leesair.com. Check out their mission statement, which is all about serving customers and the community. Check on that $99 HVAC tune-up service. Let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of us, treating us like family. They set us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life, the air that we breathe, and it's saving us money. Lee's Air, Plumbing, and Heating. License number 635355.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement, $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Payoff via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC-branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
It's back to school season, and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team? We can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox disinfecting wipes. Teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
The Triad Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
How many times the last couple of seasons have we, as Kings supporters, looked at the standings and said, man, it'd be great if the Kings could move into the East. It looks like somebody may be able to do that soon. We'll get to that in just a moment here with the Drive Guys. And we got Drapes in Las Vegas. And before we do that, Jay, Drapes, I wanted to circle back to this reporting on the 2027 NBA draft, because it's incredible to me that with a draft that far away, so many people already could be, as ESPN says, sounding the alarm bells on the 2027 draft. One grizzled talent evaluator says, "This is one of the weakest high school classes I've seen in a long time. There might not be a single all-star in this group. After the first few prospects, I'm not sure how many NBA starters I see either from the other 5-star recruits. New players always emerge, but by now we usually have a pretty good idea of who the most elite prospects are, and it's looking like slim pickings, even more so than the weak 2024 draft, which at least had several high-end international prospects we could point to. I'm not sure why, but talent evaluators say 2027, thumbs down."
Man, people need to. They say this every year. It's never no. This is a solid draft. It's either it's the greatest draft class ever, or this draft is weak. It's never just in the middle. And there's always, I don't even know. I need to Google what's the weakest NBA draft class, and I guarantee there's 3 or 4 all-stars on there. And so
it's kind of weak.
Yeah, that one we were just
that
talking
one
about.
at 13 was kind of weak.
2013 NBA draft.
Well, the one with Bennett and
Anthony Bennett.
Yeah.
That definitely pretty bad. But and you guys might have talked about this off camera. Let's see who was out there. KCP, CJ McCollum was out there. Steven Adams, Giannis. Come on, man. Come on. My boy Dennis Schroeder is out there. I think it was pretty just awful at the top. Tim Hardaway Jr., Rudy Gobert. I think they just fumbled the bag at the top, to be honest with you. If you did a redraft, and I would love to look that up right now, there's some talent, man. Come on now, Jay.
I'm just telling you what people say.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Like 2000 is considered one of the worst ones.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back to 2013, all right, Giannis at the top and Gobert, and then that kind of drops off there, Drapes. And those are nice players. You're talking about the top of the draft. I don't know.
I mean, let's say,
what was 2000?
No, 2000 was good, right? Or no?
I thought 2000 was terrible.
You might be right. I'm looking at the redraft. CJ McCollum. CJ's a hell of a player. Come on now. CJ's Victor Oladipo had a solid career other than injuries. They say my guy Dennis Schroeder on the redraft would have went number 6, KCP number 7. So how many franchise guys would you say? Giannis and Gobert. You got to give Gobert's a Hall of Famer, fellas.
Is he a franchise guy? Has he ever been the best player on his team? Has he ever been the best player on his team?
Dude, but he's a Hall of Famer.
Okay,
he hasn't been. He's been the anchor. Come on now. I'm not going to disrespect Rudy Gobert. The problem is we always just look at scoring. Like, he's arguably a top 5.
Rudy Gobert's a Hall of Famer.
Easily, he's a Hall of Famer. You believe that, Jay?
Nah,
bro, you sleeping. He's easily a Hall of Famer.
Defense?
Easily a Hall of Famer.
But he hasn't won anything. He hasn't taken his team nowhere. Like, at least if you point to those guys like that.
In basketball, you don't have to do that, Jay. 8-time all defense, 4-time all NBA, 4-time defensive player of the year. Come on, man. Mark it down. Dude, I will bet you a Bonneville check on this one, big fella.
Well, I'll tell you this.
That's terrible.
Jay nailed it when he was talking about that 2000 draft, and no disrespect to any of these guys, but you got Kenyon Martin with Stromile Swift, Darius Miles, Marcus Fizer, and Mike Miller is your top 5.
Ooh.
You got some nice players in there, but my goodness, Dermar Johnson, Chris Mim at 7, Jamal Crawford somehow slipped to 8, Joel Prisbill at 9, and Keon Dooling at 10. So Jay may have hit the nail on the head there, looking for less than terrific.
Yeah, that might have been the worst. That to me might be the worst.
I remember
in terms of 2013 was better than that.
I remember being in high school, and I'd have been my sophomore year, right? And it was crazy how many people were coming, like the Mo Peace, the Mateen Cleaves, and all of that. And just remember, because some of these guys I played in, in summer league, or excuse me, summer basketball, And I was just like, man, them dudes didn't pan out to do anything.
Yeah, and yet with the 16th pick in that draft, the Kings got Hito.
Hito, right?
Yeah.
Right. Hito pick.
Because the international scouting wasn't as advanced as
wasn't my boy, wasn't Hookem Chris Mimman that
he was way up. He was seventh. He was a seventh pick. The Chicago Bulls.
Dude, I got on campus and people were, Chris Mim's gonna be the greatest ever. Just watch, man. I was like, I don't even know what team this dude played for at that point, 2 years in.
Damn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in this redraft. Yeah, this redraft on the hoop site, they got Jamal Crawford 1, Michael Redd 2, Kenyon Martin 3, and Hito number 4.
Dang.
No franchise guys, right?
No,
sir. Speaking of franchises, one franchise may get to move from the West to the East. You know, a lot of teams in the West would like to do that. It looks like the league is going to expand at some point, maybe soon, maybe really soon, by adding Las Vegas and Seattle. If they do that, you got too many teams in the West, right? Somebody would have to go to the East. Geographically, it looks like Minnesota would be the most likely team to do that. But there, I think, would be a lot of teams that would want to move from the West to the East, Drapes.
Oh, yeah. Sacramento's like, sign me up, right?
We'll move back to Rochester. Yeah.
Right. No, who's it going to be? Memphis and what? New Orleans is what people are saying?
Let's see.
Minnesota? What?
Minnesota could be, yeah. And Mark Lohr was at a meeting a couple days ago. He was asked about that. He said, I think you got to be careful what you wish for. We're both East Coast guys, so there's some benefit on road games for sure. It'll be what it'll be. So what he's not saying there is, yes, we would give anything to move from the West to the East. We would give, I would give my left arm to do that. They're trying to play it cool, but that appears to be one of the more likely scenarios there if they expand to Seattle and Las Vegas.
That would be nice. That would those two expansion teams probably take some years to really get going, really develop, if you will. And so that'd be good for the Kings.
Yeah. I guess it's tough. You get the expansion fees if you're an owner, but then after that, all the revenues you got to split. You got to add 2 more teams into the split pot, right? So it's you gotta figure out which makes.
And have you seen the reports that some owners are against expansion?
I saw that Dolan was, yeah.
Because you got your new TV rights deal and you're cutting it by 30 ways, and now you add 2 more. Hold up now, that they weren't even part of this. How they get some of this?
Right. Yeah. So you gotta hike those expansion fees, Drapes.
Oh shoot! What are they saying? What's the going rate?
Check that. It's really high, but I'd have to check.
Like, it's unbelievable. What did Vivek buy and the crew buy the Kings for? What, 400 million, something like that?
That's pocket change.
Yeah, now you need like 5-6 billion to get in. Like, it's crazy.
And just think, the owners are making so much money that they look at that and go, we don't want that money.
Right.
Million twice? Nah, we'll make more money without them. Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz is next on Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center for your Tuesday. A notable drop in temperatures. We'll feel that. Bright sunshine expected with the occasional gusty breeze. Temperatures upper 80s to about 90 before dropping back to the 50s overnight tonight. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. And right now, save big on the perfect vehicle for your summer fun during our summertime savings event. The Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC branded pain relievers. With just 1 pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
It's back to school season, and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team? We can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox Disinfecting Wipes, teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
Alan Stiles here with your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Ken Waldachuk out with that left elbow sprain. We'll have another AAA Las Vegas rehab coming up, and his expected return is mid-July. Jose Leclerc, out with that right lat strain, is expected to return in the second half as he is playing catch 3 times a week, even though the A's expect a long recovery process. That was your Sacktown Sports Injury Update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. It's Alan Stiles here. You injured at work? Call Downtown. DTLA Law Group, California's leading injury law firm. With over 40 lawyers throughout California, they have won over $500 million in settlements. DTLA Law Group will get you compensation for your work injury. You don't pay unless they win. That's right. You pay $0 up front. Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222. Visit them at calldowntown.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hobbit, a Hobbit Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. What's happening for the Hobbit Employee Pricing Plus sales event?
We're going all in on Ram this month with not just employee pricing, but huge emphasis on the plus. You can only get at Hobbit. Right now, save up to $16,000 off MSRP on new 2025 Ram 1500 crew cabs.
What about those hard-to-find Ram heavy duties?
If you're looking for something bigger, save up to $13,500 off MSRP on the hard-to-find brand new 2025 heavy-duty Ram 2500s and 3500s, with 500 new Rams available.
Search, select, and save through our whole inventory at hobbitdodge.com. Nobody beats Hobbit. Period. $16,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn after $6,500 factory rebates and $9,500 dealer discounts. Rebates may include $2,500 SFS bonus cash. Must finance with Stellantis. $1,000 trade-in assist with eligible trade-in. $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. $13,500 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 Limited after $4,000 factory rebates and $9,500 dealer discounts. Rebates may include $2,500 select inventory bonus cash and $500 on the job upfit. Must show eligible upfit. At least 5 at each net savings. Employee pricing included in dealer discounts. See dealer for details.
I've been in the streets all day, bringing it back home.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
In Atlanta, the National League exploding for 2 runs in the bottom of the first. So National League leading the American League in the All-Star Game 2-0. Ketel Marte with a 2-run double after Shohei and Ronald Acuna had singled. So you've got the National League off to the early lead. It's the Drive Guys. We got Jay in studio here, once again defending that Whitey's Wayback Machine Quiz Championship. When's the last time you lost a match, Jay?
I'll be 2024 there, Mr. Gleason.
2024. I guess Kyle Draper, I'm sure he's confident of getting back into the winner's circle coming to us from Vegas.
Yeah, I was a little distracted yesterday. I'm good. I'm locked in today.
Man, you know, Drake's mind right now is on VJ Edgecombe taking on Washington in the big gym, Thomas and Mack, baby.
You're right. You're right.
Here's what we have today. The Whitey's Wayback Machine Quiz for July 15th, brought to you by Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Almost everything is baseball, just so you know. We got 1990 is the only thing that's not baseball, okay? We have, you're up first, Jay, 1920. We have 1973 twice. We have 1980, 1990. That's the only basketball, and 2005. So other than 1990, everything is baseball. 1920, 73, 73, 1980, 1990, 2005. Jay, where would you like to start?
1980.
1980. It is a multiple choice for you, Jay.
All right.
This day, 1980, Johnny Bench became the all-time leader in home runs as a catcher with 314. Who is the current leader? Who is the all-time current leader in home runs as a catcher with 399? Is it Mike Piazza, Carlton Fisk, or Ivan Rodriguez?
That'd be Mike Piazza, sir.
Mike Piazza is exactly right. Jay's on the board. Yeah.
Layups, huh? He giving them layups. Layups. So I got to get this one. I'm going basketball. Whatever year it is, big fella, I got to get this to even it up.
All right, it's 1990. It is basketball, and it's the closest to.
All right, let's do it.
You want Jay to go first?
Oh, closest to? Yeah, Jay first.
All right, Jay. This day, 1990, Dame Lillard is born.
Oh,
happy birthday, Dame Lillard.
BD.
In 13 NBA seasons, what is his career three-point percentage? Regular season. Dame Lillard, 13 NBA seasons. What is his career three-point percentage?
Happy birthday. In his questions, man.
Man, is this down to like 0.5? Is it down to the decimal?
They usually have like 3 digits.
Right.
You can answer any way you want.
So
but
383 type thing? Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
I usually check, I know Drapes is a big basketball reference guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going. Man, he's got to be close. I'm going 393. I'm going 393.
Oh, that's a good guess, Jay. That is a good guess for his career. That's a really good guess.
Jesus, happy birthday, Dame Lillard. What's his career three-point percentage? Drapes, Jace is 393.
How old did he turn today while Drapes was thinking about that?
He's born in 1990. So
okay. Well, I was just asking.
35?
Yeah.
35.
Yeah.
Damn, Dame 35.
I didn't know.
Wow. That's a good guess, Jay. I'm going to go 392.
371.
Ah.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. A little lower than I thought.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Has tied it up. We go back to Jay. 1920, 1973, 1973, and 2005, Jay.
Let's go 1920.
1920 is the closest to.
All right. We'll let Drapes go first.
All right, now, Draper. Set the Wayback Machine for 1920. Babe Ruth on this date ties his own record for most homers for an entire season. With how many? It's a record he would break 2 days later. This date, 1920, he hit a home run that tied his own record for most homers in a whole season. With how many? It's a record he would break 2 days later. Is that you follow that? That makes sense?
Yeah, I think so. So.
Okay. So it's what number home run did Babe Ruth hit on this date, 1920? It would tie his own record for most home runs in a whole season. Yeah, at that point. 1-1, Jay with 1, KD with 1.
I'm going to go with 49.
49? All right. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Jay? Babe Ruth, 1920, this day, ties his own record for most homers for an entire season with how many? A record he would break 2 days later.
Yeah, that was around in the 20s. So I'm going to say, what did he say, 49? I'll go 45.
45. Yeah, it was only 29.
Yeah, it was in the 20s.
Okay.
Yeah. But that at the time, that was the most.
That was deep, baby.
That was crazy. Yeah.
I mean, talk radio was crazy talking about.
I know, right?
Yeah. So Jay jumps on top 2-1, and you're up, Drapes. 1973, 2005.
2005.
2005. It is a closest to.
Jay can go first.
All right, Jay. Actually, I take that back. It is not. It is not. Closest to it is multiple choice. For you, Drapes.
Okay.
So for you, Drapes, right. I apologize. This date, 2005, Rafael Palmeiro joins the 3,000 hit club. The question is, who is the most recent player to collect 3,000 hits? He did so in 2022.
Oh, I got it.
Was it Albert Pujols, Miguel Cabrera, or Adrian Beltre?
Miggy Cabrera.
Miggy Cabrera.
That's not right.
Is exactly right.
Oh, is it? I thought it was
Jay.
Yes, that is right.
Jay.
2-2.
Got him.
I thought it was flip-flop. You didn't give me.
Yeah. Back to you, Jay. We have 2 1973s left here.
I'll go 73B.
73B, and that is the closest to.
We'll let Drapes go
All
first.
right, what a match, 2-2.
Right.
Drapes, I got to say, if you win this one when it's almost all baseball, kind of be a real feather in your cap,
Yeah,
right?
I think so. You got to put some respect on your boy's name. Yep.
Yeah, doing well, but we still got
Not too soon, fella.
No, right? Still plenty of time.
All right, Drapes, here you go. This date, 1973, Nolan Ryan throws his second no-hitter of the season. He set a record for most strikeouts in a no-hit game, a record that has been tied but never broken with how many? So Nolan Ryan, this date, 73, his second no-hitter this season, striking out a record number of hitters for a no-hitter that has not been broken. How many?
18.
18. Jay?
Oh,
Nolan Ryan. Ryan Express. We threw hard back then in 73. No-hitter of the season, second no-hitter of the season. Striking out how many? The record for a no-hit game that has been tied but never broken. Drapes is 18.
That's tough.
yeah. I think it's 20 or 19. I'm going to go 19.
It is. He struck out 8 in a row and finished with 17.
Oh,
Drapes has the lead.
dang.
Let's go.
Lead.
What a guess. What a guess. Let's go.
Mark. He was right there because I was going to guess 18. It was 17, 18, 19.
Really good guess.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great guess.
And I believe, Drapes, you're in the batter's box here.
A chance to win it, the walk-off, baby.
Walk it off right here, and it's multiple choice.
Woo, I love it. Let's go.
This day, 1973. Which San Francisco Giant?
Oh, come on.
The 15th player to hit 400 career homers. This date, 1973. Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Orlando Cepeda. This date, 1973. This is for the win for Kyle Draper. Which Giant becomes the 15th player to hit 400 career homers? Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Orlando Cepeda.
I don't know this one. I don't
He
know.
might know it. He likes to do that, I don't know. And then,
I really don't, man. I try not to psych myself out.
Drapes with the 3-2 lead could win it right here.
1973, 400 home runs.
Yeah. Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, or
Willie
Orlando.
Mays would be too easy, so I'm not going there. That's too basic.
Drapes really.
McCovey's Cove, baby.
Willie McCovey?
Yeah.
Stretch? Yeah. That's your answer?
Yes.
He's
he
right.
swings. It's gone.
He's right. Yeah, he's
Drapes
right.
walks it off.
Yeah, you're right on that.
Dude,
that was easy
I know
question.
Willie Mays. Did you know that one, Jay?
Yeah, it'll stretch.
Oh, you knew that? Whew.
Yeah.
Dude, I knew. I'm like, Willie Mays, nah, that's too,
Yeah.
I was either leading Cepeda or McCovey. How many did Cepeda have?
I don't even know if he ever got to
I don't think he got to 400.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Wow, Drapes going inside, getting inside my head here.
Yeah, man. You becoming readable here.
Yeah, 379 for Cepeda. Yeah.
Big win for you. We're back. You're back with us tomorrow from Vegas?
Yeah, reluctantly. No, but you know what? I think I'm gonna miss the first half hour though. Kings playing.
Yeah, because you got Kings playing. That's right.
Kings play, but then I'll come down and enjoy.
All right, we look forward to that. Thank you, Jay.
All right, boy.
Around. JR Sport Brief show is next on Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturer.